What a terrible.
So we're talking about airlines.
Welcome back.
Is that the idea?
Broadcast number 2 officially, and it looks like we have audio.
2.5.
Technically 2.5. Are we all? Is every show from now on going to be 0.5?
I like that bit.
I mean,
I kind of like that bit.
but you got to be an OJ. You got to be an OG fan
Give me a burger.
to understand the reference to the .5. I'm good with it though. I'm good with it though. Gonna make all the retroactive or the retro podcasts relevant, I guess.
The only
There
thing
you
that
go.
sucks about that is like milestone numbers. So like if we ever get to 100, we're going to be at 99.5 and then 100.5.
Yeah, we'll just take the floor of all numbers. That's our rule when it comes to milestones. So, all right, boys.
What do you mean the floor of all numbers?
The
I know what
floor
you
of every number. So the floor of 99.5 is 99.
Oh, okay. I've literally never heard that.
What? Really?
The floor of what?
I've
The
actually
floor of a number. I've never heard that
The
term.
floor and the ceiling? It's like a math thing. Ceiling.
No.
What?
I was a
I
mathlete.
kind
I've
of
never heard of
figured
that.
what you were saying, but I've never heard that either.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, dude, we weren't all Janet Gilbo's protege.
It's like when you're not rounding, when you're talking about truncating decimals, and you say, "Do you want the floor or the ceiling?"
I mean, I think I understand the concept. I just never heard of it.
It makes
So
sense.
this is
Oh
a
no, I
fun
mean it's super simple. Yeah, of
podcast.
course you understand.
All 4 listeners have already gotten off.
No, this is it. This is what we do.
Talk about Matt.
Let's talk about Matt. That's a good topic
Fuck
because he's
what?
not
Wait.
here.
John, what were you in high school? What were you in middle school? A math? What was it called?
Whoa, guy, that was high school. Okay, I took down our valedictorian in a math competition, and then moved on to state, which I had to miss for a track meet, which was probably pretty rare for them.
Mathlete missing because of a track.
That's what mathlete. That's right. Okay.
That's probably the first time. You're probably right about that.
A mathleticist. I like that.
That's right.
Mathematician is the old school way of saying it. A mathleticist is much better.
So, guys, why do they not board from the back of the plane first? Why?
I just watched a YouTube about that like 2 days ago,
I
actually.
think it has to do with the
Tell
weight.
me. There's no way that makes any sense. Like,
No,
go
the
ahead,
weight.
John.
No, the weight. doesn't make sense.
It makes perfect fucking sense. You can't put all the weight in the back of the plane. What do you mean?
You mean like if it to keep it from like
Like if
tipping
you
back?
board to the back up, if
Yeah,
like
I don't think.
No, that's not it at
I
all.
don't. I
No,
don't
no, 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 no.
Let's Google
He's
it.
not- I know he's not talking. He's not talking about. He's talking about people go that instead of going first class to the back, you start from the back and then move up to the first class.
Board from back to front.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Flick's talking about.
Oh, okay. I thought
And that causes a weight problem?
So
He's-
basically, the video that I watched was talking about how, I mean, obviously, unless you literally went aisle by aisle, which is impossible because some people are going to show up late and all that kind of stuff, it really doesn't save that much time because you're still having people are still winding up sitting there waiting at like the first section of D. You still got people lined up waiting on whoever's in the front of that section getting to the back, and basically, it doesn't take that much time, is what they're saying.
So basically, it's a clusterfuck no matter how you do
But
it.
I refuse. I'm pretty skeptical of that, to be honest. I feel like
Well,
it's
you could
still,
you could make more sections instead of having like first class business.
sure, but you're always
whatever.
gonna have people that
Rob, do
they
you
get
remember,
in the wrong spot and all that.
Rob, do you
You're
remember
right.
when we were coming back, or we were in all like the Latin American countries, and like you lined up, like everybody lined up, and it was like
Mhm.
you actually used the priority lane, you actually used the general boarding lane. Everybody was in order. It
Yep,
was
yep,
so
yep.
nice and neat. Are we just like?
I mean, you could
Are we just incapable of doing that as Americans?
no,
Fine.
you could literally give everybody a number, just 1 to 150, and just fucking line up with your number.
That's
So
what
the
hard.
article or the video that I watched was also saying that they made an argument for boarding outside seats to inside seats
I've heard
instead.
that before.
But they said that
Side to inside.
people like that way, you don't have people getting out of the middle seat to let you in your window
Yeah.
seat and all that kind of stuff.
I
Well,
think-
that's my whole reason behind boarding back to front makes so much more sense because how many times are you get in you're closer to the front, obviously, you're putting your luggage in, and then more people get on and they're also in there, but there's no more space, so they have to go further down to put their luggage, and then they have to fight the crowd when they come back, and it's like that is the bigger cluster, like the biggest clusterfuck.
But then you're
That
gonna have the-
situation is
but
terrible.
you're also gonna have the douchebags that are they're headed to their seat in the back and they're like, ooh, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw my thing in the front overhead bin so that I can grab it as I walk out. and then all the people that wind up getting in their front seats are screwed because then they have to go all the way to the back.
I just want to quickly point out that I'm kind of right here. One of the main reasons airlines don't is because the engines are in the back, and it'll put too much weight in the back, and it could cause potentially to sink down.
All right,
I
now
don't
that's
That
understand.
does
Orville-
not make any
Orville
sense.
and
It does
I
not
don't know.
change the
Wait,
weight
hold on.
distribution
It makes-
whatsoever.
It does.
Yes, it
Wait, hold
will.
on. Yes, it does.
Yes,
it
will.
makes sense.
What are you talking about?
If you
No,
put
no.
every person and their luggage in the back and the front, there's nobody in the front with no luggage. There's going to be more weight in the back.
But
No,
you're going to
there's
have people
still
that
gonna
are
be-
waiting in the back of the line
while
that are,
it's
that
sitting
are
on
on
the
the front of the
tarmac, not
plane.
doing anything?
No, there's going to be more people on the jetway than there are in the aisle versus. So I get it. I understand what Flick's saying. If
No,
everybody's
no,
sitting
no.
down and there's no weight in the front, then there's a weight distribution problem.
But you're
Absolutely.
hilarious if you think that
For
no
the
one's going to be
20
lined
minutes
up
while
all
it's
the way down
boarding?
the front.
No. He's saying that there's gonna be more weight in the back because there's gonna be more bags in the back, and I'm saying that won't happen.
No, we were saying that's while there's boarding happening, there's more weight in the back if you do it that way. I
I'm not
get it.
talking about
I don't
entire
think
flight.
Why
I'm
does that
talking-
matter?
right. Yes, exactly. During the flight,
Because
everything's
there's too
balanced.
much
That's fine.
There's too much
Right,
weight.
but I'm saying
Also-
during boarding, there's a full line all the way down to
Yeah.
the front of the plane.
Yeah, I don't.
So
but
it kinda
I would still say
counterbalances.
I would still say there would end up being way more people in the jetway than in the aisle with luggage and all, because
Well-
it's a single file line versus how many, like 3x that in seats as you sit down.
No.
I don't believe it. I think the logic makes sense, but I don't think it really has any issue. It's very simple. This is all about status. It's about getting your luggage on board. So if you have higher status, your luggage makes it on board and you don't have to check it.
Yeah,
It's-
basically what it
it's
comes
really
down to is they need better drink service at the gate.
Oh. Also, to fix things though, you should be able. I think it should be the exact opposite. You should be able to check your bag for free, and if you want to bring a bag on board, you should pay for it on board.
I mean, in theory that sounds good, but I'm sure that there's a
I
very good
think-
reason that they do it the way they do.
But I would pay. Golly, would I pay for? Would I do that? That's really interesting. I probably would
No.
pay because it's. I think about how many like little day trip things I've taken where I didn't want to take a hard rolling suitcase and I just took like a single backpack. That was it. I'm not checking a single backpack. Like it just won't make it. Like my laptops will be crushed. My bag may not make it.
No,
It's
I
like-
agree entirely, but that's something like, I can fit a backpack underneath my seat in front of me, and so I'm not even using any overhead space. And so I think if you could get along, like basically have size requirements, so if something fits, you don't have to pay for it if it fits underneath
Yeah,
your
yeah.
where your feet are, but if it has to go above, then you have to pay for it. And I
Right.
think that
If I have to fly coach, there's not much going under the seat in front of me besides my feet. It's really unfortunate.
no, I agree, but I'm just saying that I think that's
this
something.
guy just said, if I have to fly coach, man, what an Amazon employee.
I fly coach all
Holy
the time.
crap.
I mean, the more you travel, the more likely you get. upgraded.
Must be nice.
I haven't traveled in like a year and a half, really.
When you getting your own G, dude?
That's why we're here. I mean, right? The topic of the next podcast: how to get your own private jet. Basically
Speaking
the
of
same
which-
as the topic of the first podcast.
31,
Yep.
31 bets of blackjack, $100 in a row. That's all it is.
Oh God, are we back to that? I thought it was
16, I
30.
thought, right?
I,
No.
thought, see, I thought it was 16 as well.
Fucking
Oh my god.
it's 30.
Oh, yeah,
whatever it was.
31 is to get to Musk. I think 16 will do the trick, though.
16 will do the trick. Yeah. We were talking about. We said on the first one like how like you would never get to that because I would at like 10 grand I'd be fucking out of there. I would be so gone. Maybe not Rob. Rob's looking at me like you puss.
He's like, I
No.
did that last night.
No, we talked about it. I think I was like, after I did got to like $5 grand or something like that, I'd probably be out too. I wouldn't be out, but I would
He'd go
then-
lose
I'm
it
setting
on
aside
three-card poker.
2,500, and I'm like, okay, cool.
You
I
would
won
save like
2,500.
half of it and bet with
Yeah.
the rest or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would do that too.
If somebody gave me a free 1,000 and was like,
Ooh,
just
speaking of which,
go hard, maybe I would. Maybe I couldn't
on,
make it past
on
10
this
grand.
on this topic, I just got a notification earlier today that Bruno Mars
Oh, I
Owes
saw that.
50 million to MGM Grand.
Yeah, I think
Why? Is that the?
it's
Is that because
Just
of the
gambling debt.
gambling debt.
Oh my god.
He's gonna be like doing shows in Vegas for the next like 5 years to repay that.
50
like,
million?
joke.
Really?
I feel like the only allure to me for gambling is like the very tiny possibility that I get rich. So if you're already filthy rich, what are you doing? Michael Jordan looking at you.
Michael
I don't know.
Jordan probably couldn't. Michael Jordan probably couldn't bet away his money. I mean,
No. I'm talking about when he was playing though, and he was in some gambling problems.
yeah, I don't know. It was I feel like all of that was just rumor. Like I don't know that he was ever in real.
Well, I
money-
mean,
money pro-
I
money
don't know.
trouble.
We'll have him on the next pod and we'll talk about it.
It doesn't even matter though for who like it is. Like I mean, I think gambling is really, I mean, it's an addiction, it's a vice, it's whatever. I mean, it's cigarettes, it's
Yeah,
alcohol.
throw the link up, Jordan.
For the
It's whatever.
If you have a gambling problem, go to this website.
Uh,
1-800 gambler.
I mean, I gamble, and I don't gamble anything outrageous or anything like that. At the same time, like, I
You're
mean, like
rich.
when I watch sports, I want to,
Yeah, you want to be invested.
yeah, because like,
Yeah.
I can't watch NC State play Murray State or something like that. And
Easy
like,
solution is to not watch NC State, Murray State.
But if you want to be into
Yeah,
it,
but
you
if
got to
it's
put
a-
$100 on it.
but if it's a Thursday night and there's nothing else on, and I'm like,
There's something else is on.
I
You could watch Spider-Man.
honestly, even if I bet on a stupid game like that, I still
no, I
don't
feel
really
you,
have to
Ed.
watch it. I can just be like, I got $100 on it, but I'm not watching this shit.
I can watch the scores.
Yeah. It doesn't make
Yeah,
it any
yeah.
more entertaining. It just makes me sweat. at
oh,
the final
100%.
score.
Oh no, it makes them. I'm with
Wow. Well, yeah.
Depends
I
on
mean,
how
not
many.
even-
Depends on how many beers.
No,
have,
I mean,
guess.
it could be 10 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I went to when I went to the Rose Bowl where UGA played Oklahoma. We went to the horse track out there, and my uncle and I put like $100 down on to win 4 races in a row, and if we win that, we won like 400 grand. And the first
I
one
wouldn't
hit.
mind that.
The first one hit. We're hooting and hollering, whatever, no big deal. Second one hit, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, like this is great!" And then the third one hit, and we were
Called your boss and quit.
we were freaking out. I mean, legitimate freaking out. And I was like, could be like the best trip ever. Blah 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 blah. Well, fourth race comes on. The horses start. Get around
Breaks
turn 1. Our horse, middle of the pack. Get around turn 2. Horse starts to get a little further up. Then right before turn 3, our horse takes the lead, and we start freaking out. Everything. I mean, we're hooting and hollering like we're gonna win this shit. Like we're about, no telling what we're about to do. As soon as he hit turn 4, though, he I think tore something or something, and it went dead last. And
you're going. No.
Oh, I
No.
mean, it was just because it was my dad, Hank, and Mark, and Dad and Hank were just laughing so hard at us, though. I mean, it was, but like I said, that feeling though, when you think you're really about to win $400,000, there was no better feeling than that. It was the coolest thing.
I have never, ever come that close to winning big money, so I don't know
Ooh.
what that feels like, and gambling just terrifies me.
Does sound amazing.
So,
I'm
so
gonna be
first of
honest.
all, Robe, we gotta edit that story so we can go viral, and you gotta tell a story about how they won and you called your boss and told him off and quit your job, but then they got DQ'd.
And then I was out of a job.
Yeah, but one time I hit for the Georgia the Fantasy 5 lottery. I hit the first 4 numbers, and then the 5th number was one digit off, and I won like $150 instead of 150 grand.
Damn.
So wait, at that last number that you would have won 150 grand?
Was it like the last number was 48 and your number was 58, or was it?
I think it was like 34 and 33. Brutal.
I'm sorry, bro. That's rough.
Thank you.
uh,
I feel better now.
Is it
How's your
weird?
dog
Is
going?
it weird that like we as humans like do that whole like it's only one number off thing?
Oh yeah, I mean I know
Like-
it's as off as if it were 60 digits off, but
Yeah.
it still feels closer.
Have y'all noticed that it's like a scratch off thing? I feel like that should be illegal in scratch offs where you scratch and it's like all the numbers will be like one number off. It's like, oh my god, I'm so close. Let me have another one.
That's such a mind fuck.
Well,
just
really
it's
for
is.
psychology.
gambling.
It's psychology, though. That's why they.
Yeah,
keep, that's why they have it.
100%.
It really
I mean,
is.
it's
And it works.
Yeah, all those
You
monkeys
know,
out
and
there
I
are
didn't-
just fucking scratching away.
I'll be honest though. So one of my ice machines that I take care of is at a gas station, and a lot of times I pick up trash like that around the machines and whatnot, and I go put it in the dumpster right there. And when I open up that dumpster, I promise you, the whole entire bottom of it is just filled with scratch offs. I mean, and it's every time, and it's not like, oh, it's just like maybe at the end of the month or something like that. No, it is literally every single time I go. I just can't tell you how much money like gas stations, like, which I know they have to, whatever they get is a small, portion of what they have to give the government and all this stuff. But like, it is unbelievable how many people like play scratch offs.
we should buy a roll and scratch them off like live on Twitch. Is that illegal? Is that legal? Can you do that?
Mr. Beast has a video doing that.
I don't think you can do it on Twitch because I'm pretty sure Gambling has been banned on Twitch.
Okay.
But if you were on another streaming, like you can do it on YouTube if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to steal Mr. Beast's idea, but I think it's funny.
I would love to see. There's literally like a Korean channel or something like that. Sorry if it's not Korean. I'm not racist. That literally recreates every single one of Mr. Beast's videos.
That's funny.
Just in
Like
Korean,
these-
like in a different language, kind of thing.
But like that's the thing.
No.
He has his own like international channels where he they like dub over it and everything, but they literally like do like they just take all of his ideas and all of his topics and do them themselves, and they're very successful.
You know what we should do? We should take like funniest clips from this podcast and then translate them like using some AI
Translator,
thing or
like,
whatever.
yeah.
And just like release the clips of all of our voices dubbed in like Japanese or something. I don't know why that sounds so funny to me, but I'm just imagining like seeing John's face move, but then be like,
Okay, Bobby Lee. Or no, that's the other guy.
it would be too funny. Well,
That clip, I get that clip on from what's the guy's name? Andrew is it Santiago?
Santino.
Santino? That's
the
it. Yeah.
guy that does the thing with Bobby
Yeah.
Lee.
Right. And
Whose podcast is that? Is that theirs together? or-
it's theirs
Yeah.
together.
Oh, okay.
But
I think it's called like Two Friends.
the clip always like pops up for whatever reason is the one where they're talking about dogs and how like they speak different languages, or not speak obviously, but listen to different languages. And Bobby's like, like not all dogs know English or whatever. And he's like, so like Mexican dogs will listen to like listen to someone speaking Spanish or whatever, and then he's like, well, what a Chinese dog? He goes, help, help,
Oh
help.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's awful.
I
So
see that
funny.
clip all the time though, and I'm like,
Yeah.
God almighty.
Man, I remember I saw that clip. I remember when we were in frickin' Argentina. Remember that big ass what kind of dog was that? Was it a mastiff?
Yeah, it was
bull
a
mastiff?
yeah.
And
it
we
was
kept calling it. We were like, "Hey!" And it kept like just like turning its head, looking at us. And then we were like, "Is your dog friendly?" And the guy was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Ben!" And the dog just comes over. And we're like, "What the? The dog speaks Spanish." It was hilarious. We had been talking to this dog in English, and the dog just didn't know what we were saying.
I told, yeah.
Oh, that's
That was
fucking
that was
awesome.
probably the first. That was probably the first time I realized though that like that was a thing.
I had
Actually,
no idea. Like,
I never would have ever thought about that on my own.
yeah, no way.
I mean,
I
there are
never
so
would've
many
made the
guard dogs that
connection.
they teach German or whatever.
Oh
I know,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
I
yeah,
never
that's right.
made
Because
that
Harley
connection. Like,
or
I guess maybe
remember-
because the
did you-
guy was talking to us in English, so I guess I didn't really think about it.
That's
Boy,
right.
y'all are giving Americans a bad name right now.
Why?
Because everybody's always like if you ever like get on Reddit, they're like, "Oh yeah, Americans always think that the United States is the only place that exists."
Yeah, but
It's
Reddit,
like someone will be asking something, it's like very obvious to like an American or whatever. They're like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "Yeah, people always just crap on Americans on Reddit for being naive to the rest of the world existing.
Well, when they can, when
Reddit
they get
sucks.
a free country and everything like we have, they can talk to us.
Yeah, no other country is free.
Not like we are, Flick.
It's true. It's true.
There's a clip from a TV
Oh.
show called a Newsroom or something like that where he would
I know
greatly
you're talking about.
disagree.
I
Doesn't matter,
think
though.
that Reddit is full of like people who like spiraled themselves into a deep dark depression every night thinking about all the things wrong with the world. That's what I think fills Reddit.
I mean, that's any social media platform.
But Reddit has everything, though, Jordan.
Reddit
Yeah,
is
exactly. I was about to say before he finished that sentence, I was going to say no matter what you say, you're correct.
Reddit sucks.
It's full of X.
I can't stand it. It's just a bunch of turbo nerds. And
But
it's
do you
like,
not-
If,
I
you,
mean,
if you're
like-
not part of the echo chamber, you're just like, they just like will boot you.
But do you not use it?
John's familiar with the boot from
Do I
Reddit.
use it like for what? Like if I'm
Well, I mean,
like,
like, I'm-
googling
if I'm-
something like that, like for
Yeah.
work or like technology related, and it pops up and I read that, yeah, I'll use it that way. But I don't use it. I don't like doom scroll it like some people do.
I don't know how to do that, so I
mean,
guess I'm.
I use
don't-
Reddit for pickleball, for like Tesla info, sports. That's pretty
Oh,
much it.
that's what we should talk about.
What, pickleball?
No, not pickleball.
EVs.
EVs.
Oh, dude, let's go.
Who?
I got my Cybertruck.
You
yeah, I
want to
told
talk
you on the
about
group.
EVs? Like electric vehicles, EVs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god,
No, the Pokemon Eevee.
no shot. That's
I can talk about that.
Flick goes to speaking my language, baby.
it looks like what? Excuse me?
Listen,
Fucking ready?
So Charizard's the best Pokemon, right, Click?
Yes.
no.
Mew or Mewtwo?
What's the question? That's just you just said two Pokemon.
No,
Yeah.
Or-
which one's the best?
He said or, so technically the question.
I mean, I prefer Mewtwo, I guess.
Why?
Idiot.
Should I just leave? Like,
I would have said that no
No.
matter which one he said.
I know,
Mm,
I know.
So, EVs. I like that topic for what it's worth because I like being argumentative.
I mean,
What are we going to argue about it?
They're garbage.
doo.
Okay.
Tell us about them, John.
I know you have
I
one,
mean-
John. So, yeah, tell us your experience with it so far.
I've loved it. Yeah, I hate driving our other car
What's the
ever
other car?
since. The Kia Sorento.
That's like the SUV thing, or is that the car?
Well,
It's
so
the SUV.
John,
It's
let me
like the next step down from Telluride.
Yeah.
let me ask you this. Not driving wise, I get there is a lot of perks to Tesla because I think the technology Tesla has is very good. I rode in one last night. I got an Uber home last night and it was a Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
And like the big TV or not TV, but screen
Sure.
with, and you can see the traffic, like who's near you. You see pedestrians walking and everything like that's really cool. And I think that's a great feature that should be on more cars in all honesty. But outside of the technology,
No, I'm referring to like
and-
the driving experience of it. Like for instance, I love the regenerative braking where you can just drive with one pedal. It sounds weird. You think you'll hate it when you first do it, and then once you've done it, you hate driving with both pedals. Like especially like when we're up in the mountains and you're going around like downhill for miles and you don't ever have to sit there and go back and forth on the gas and brake. That's great. And traffic, it's amazing because you're not sitting there, stop and go traffic, just going back and forth on the pedals all day. What else? I love just getting in and putting it in drive and driving. I hate having stuff in my pocket, so I love not carrying a key. I know there are some cars that can do that.
how does that do that?
Your phone is your key. And I've also got like a ring that'll work,
So-
or you can use a key card like in your wallet.
Man, it's just
So what happens when your phone dies?
Like I said, I've got a ring that I can just tap on the thing and it works.
But do you wear the ring though?
When
Yeah, I wear it if I'm like worried about like if I'm going out of town or something like that, and I don't want my phone to die or something like that. But also,
Okay.
when was the last time you were somewhere? I mean, I know obviously it was being inconvenient, but like, when was the last time you were somewhere where you could not possibly find somewhere to charge your phone? if you really got screwed, you know. But
It's gonna be wild when Tesla goes, or when you get like, keep the car for 10 years. Let's just say it lasts for 10 years, which is a whole different topic.
sure.
Tesla at one point is probably gonna go, okay, John, it's been 10 years. We're no longer compatible with a new iPhone or whatever phone. That technology is old and dated. So it's going to be 10 grand to fix your car to be able to use your phone as a key.
Well, you buy a new one at that point.
I mean, I would use the key card if it was going to cost me 10 grand. I mean,
I mean, that's fine. I'm just saying. That's just like, that's the weird stuff
but
about.
that's not going to happen. I mean, and also, like I
Fucking
said, there
happens
are
all the
gas
time
cars
with
that are using your
technology.
phone as a key. Do what?
I said it happens all the time with technology. I mean, phones.
No, they're always going to update to be compatible with the most popular phones. I'm not going to ever use a 10-year-old iPhone.
It may not be possible though. It may be like, like 10 years from now, who says that whatever technology they're using to do the key.
I mean, dude, I
stuff
drive
doesn't work?
35,000 miles a year. I'm not going to have a 10-year-old car.
That's true too.
Definitely not a Tesla.
Yeah, I'm worried.
How long do the batteries realistically last before you have to replace them?
So currently, I mean, like they're innovating them constantly and constantly. So like we don't truly know right now because I don't like there are some that have gone over 150,000 miles. But like, you know what I mean? Like their most current battery technology, no one's taken it. No one's been able to take it 150,000 miles yet. I mean, I'm sure that's not true. Someone has, but like, you know what I mean? It's not like we have hundreds of thousands that have been at the most current technology for hundreds of thousands of miles.
How many Teslas have been sold to date? Like total, all models.
I don't know. I unfortunately don't work for corporate Tesla.
I'll Google it. Fuck it. Teslas
Have you ever
have been
applied?
sold.
Have I ever what? Applied? No, I haven't.
Applied?
I've looked at jobs at Tesla.
4.97 million to date is what it says. That was at the end. That was at the end of 2023 though.
How many F-150s were sold last year?
Do Camrys.
All right, I'll do Camrys. Robbie, do F-150s.
All right.
How many Camrys sold in 2023? 290,000, making it the best-selling non-SUV in the States. Wow.
So F-150 sold just north of 700,000 pickups
Last year?
Last year.
Jesus
Dang.
Christ. That's crazy. Well, for what it's worth, John, it's not that I have a issue with EVs. I have the
Okay.
same issue with the EV market right now that I have with the domestic market. That they're just not reliable.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
everything everything I've seen about Teslas though is like they're not well built.
Yeah, that's old news. Ooh, people blow that kind of stuff way out of proportion. Talking about like panel gaps and stuff.
Well, not even that, just but like I don't know. It's not like I mean I've ridden a couple of them and I haven't seen any of that stuff. But at the same time, I mean that's like you said, there can be panel gaps, there can be whatever. But
Yeah, people. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
But, like,
I got anecdotes on both sides. Like I know people that love their Teslas, just like wouldn't have any other car. But also know people who are like, well, my Tesla was in the shop for the first 3 months, so no, I don't like it. I'm trying to get rid of it.
yeah, and that's anything.
But it's
You're gonna have
more,
both sides of
and
anything.
that's why.
It's just more
Nah,
in the spotlight.
Nobody's ever
right
bought a
That-
Camry and had that problem.
Well, no, they have, but statistically, that's where I get down to. It's the reason I don't want to buy a brand new car that's never been owned. I would rather buy a year-old car that somebody's dealt with the gremlins in, and it's still like brand new, but it's been serviced, and any little thing that's wrong with it coming off the factory line is fixed, and I don't have to deal with all that shit, and I can just drive it, change the oil,
So-
and drive it. That's all I want to do.
So our Tesla is like I want to say like my 8th car, and I mean every car now. Given a lot of them I got with like 100,000 miles on it or something. I did have a new Civic one time, but I mean every other car I had I was always taking it to the shop all the time, and it drove me insane. And I love that there's no maintenance to do on this besides rotate your tires every 2 years. You like replace a cabin filter, like just little things, but like. there's so many fewer things that can go wrong. Obviously, there are things that do go wrong because you hear all those stories, but
Well, yeah, but like if something big goes wrong, it's also more
yeah,
expensive, and it's
well,
more
sure,
likely for EVs to break than it is for mechanical. The big powertrains in mechanical vehicles are more reliable. It's a fact.
Well,
yeah,
technology is way newer.
I'm sure that's true, but like you said, there are anecdotes on both sides, and in my experience, that's been way better.
How much does charging your Tesla affect your power bill?
Very negligible, like not at all, because so before you have so Georgia Power does, and a lot of states do this, but they have incentive pricing to own an electric vehicle, where so doesn't matter how much you know about electricity and stuff. So just bear with me on the numbers, but so previously I was paying like I think around 13 to 14 cents per kilowatt hour of use through Georgia Power. And then when I got an EV, so now from 11 p.m. until 7 a.m., my electricity only cost me 1.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So as 1.5 cents versus 13.5 or whatever cents. So basically, I just schedule my car to charge between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. and it makes
It's
up
free.
for it. Yeah, it's
And
almost
so
free.
you can boost your AC at night.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. So I can blare my AC. I
When-
mean, pool's running.
When are
like-
you gonna install those solar panels?
Dude, if I thought I was gonna be in my house long term, I would. I don't want to be in this house for forever. I like our house, but I don't
You
want
don't
to be
want
in
to
it
live
for.
on your parents forever?
I mean, I couldn't care less about that, but yeah. I mean,
Well, so
if I thought I was gonna be
what
Go
Tesla?
ahead.
What Tesla did you buy? Which one did you get?
the Model Y,
Why did
So,
you
like,
choose
the-
that?
because it was. I mean, the Model 3 and the Model Y are the only two that are anywhere near my price range, and the Model Y is bigger.
That's a good reason. That's
Yeah, I
fine.
mean, I would have loved to have the X with the Falcon wing doors and stuff, but I didn't have 90 grand laying around.
So why
Same
not?
thing with the S.
Why a Tesla? Why not like a hybrid of something else, or a Volvo all electric, or a BMW all electric, or something else?
Because so I wanted all electric, and if I was gonna go all electric, I knew I wanted the Tesla charging network.
Do you have a problem finding? I mean, like obviously, I know you charge at your house, but is there anywhere in Albany that has stuff like that?
Yeah, there's a supercharger at Walmart, and there's also at the Oakland Library. There's a fast
Mhm.
charger. It's not Tesla, but I mean, yeah, I've never.
Do
I
you
have. Go ahead.
do you take your Tesla on trips, or you take the other car?
No, we've only taken the Tesla on trips. I mean, I've taken it down to Miami twice. I've taken it to the Highlands, North Carolina once.
Well, so how's your trip to Miami? How is it? Like, I mean,
dude,
like,
fantastic. Love it.
Yeah,
I
it's
know
probably
it
not a
maps it.
problem.
I know it maps it out for you, but I mean, like, how long does it take to charge to where you then go again, though?
So I'm married. My wife enjoys stopping on road trips, and so we have never had to like whenever we do stop, we're never waiting on the car to finish charging. We're by the time we finish our stop to get a drink or
We're
grab a
starting
bite or
charging.
whatever, it's already ready to go. So I mean, typically between 15 and 25 minutes.
What does it cost?
So for supercharging, it's pretty comparable to gas. So you don't save that much. You only save money charging at home, basically.
That's
I mean,
fine.
it kind of depends on like the area and like how busy it is and what all that kind of stuff. But I mean, yeah, you're not making a big argument for saving money when you're going on a road trip.
And how many miles do you get on your charge?
So if I were to charge it to 100% and drive it to 0%, I could get, depending on how you drive, around 300 miles. I mean, I wouldn't get that because I'm not going to drive the way I could get that. So if I'm going on a road trip, I'll charge it to about 95%, 95, whatever. And then typically it's going to have me stop when I get anywhere, depending on where the superchargers are under 20% is when it's going to want me to stop.
Listen, all this sounds great. I really, the only reason I don't like, I love the way Rivians look. I love the way
Oh, dude, yeah.
they're
So
great.
beautiful.
They're super appealing. All the features and everything are super appealing. but I don't believe in them. I don't believe in them yet. Like I just
Well,
don't.
That's fair. Like I
mean
said,
from
like,
a
I couldn't care.
reliability,
I
or-
don't care that other people don't like them. Like you know what I mean?
Well, I
Honestly,
don't-
It's not a
until
not-
the supercharger network is like, even way more expensive than it is, which is already great, but like until it's everywhere, I don't want other people. I don't want people driving.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't
Um,
believe they're the next car that's going to happen. I don't think EV is going to be. I don't think EV is going to be around in 10 years.
I-
And
What, you think it's hydrogen?
I think hydrogen's going to be the move, and I think it's going to be wasted money, and I think that's why. Because I think the mining of cobalt and all that stuff is so bad. I don't think there's anywhere to put dead batteries. I think all that stuff is where we're going to have issues. And
So batteries are recycled, and I've heard a good counterpoint to the cobalt thing that I can't remember, but I could probably look up and find. And if I do, I'll send it to you.
It might not be cobalt long term, is what it
Sure.
boils down to. So I mean,
Well,
So
how
what
are
are you
they- how are
investing
they-
in?
how are they
Are you
recycling?
betting on that, Rob?
no, I'm not betting on it.
What I mean by that is like, are you investing in things that are?
no, I'm investing in small
I'm
medical
invested
stocks.
in hydrogen. It's kicking my ass right now.
One that your company knows that sells actually.
You're invested in. Sorry, what'd you say? Medical what?
Like new medical devices, basically. I think it's called HTRX.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, it's
Yeah,
your,
that's
company, your company sells it. That's what I've been buying recently.
Well, I assume by my company you mean Stryker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your
So I'm a
company,
distributor. I'm a distributor of Stryker. Is what I mean by that.
No.
So
Um,
your company.
Your CEO.
so
I mean, yeah, your company.
Yeah. Let's go.
I would love for it to be my company.
I think that hydrogen has a chance, maybe in like industrial settings, like trains and giant trucks and that sort of thing. But I think EV's got a lot of it's got a lot of momentum right now. A lot of people
Mhm.
like it. I think the government
what-
obviously is incentivizing people buying them and incentivizing companies building them. There's
Yeah. What the heck happens to the supercharger network if that happens, Rob?
Well, that's the whole thing, though. I just
Sit
think
there.
that's my whole problem with it is I think right now our whole entire infrastructure is built off of oil, and everything we do has oil. So whether shirts we make, it's beds, whatever, blah 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 blah. Like everything uses oil, and I think EVs are sure we would have to change everything, and I think it'd be a pain in the ass, and I think it would be very expensive, but at the same time, I don't think the benefit from it outweighs what we're getting from gas right now, and I think that's why I mean, like Jordan said, he doesn't believe in. I don't believe in it because I don't think the long-term effects from it are going to be any better than what we have now,
When
and so that's why I don't like it.
when I say I don't believe in it, I don't believe in them. I don't believe that they're as reliable. And so for a good to be, I want to be a good consumer. I don't want to waste my money. I don't want to spend that much money on something for it to nickel and dime me or break down and me have to pay lots of money. As far as the technology, the battery technology, the car technology, the luxury technologies that you get with EVs, all that's great. I don't think the reliability is there for that either. I think that the mining and all, yeah, it's got real problems environmentally and that sort of thing. I agree. I don't think that the benefits are there yet. I think that they will get there because the technology will get better. Battery tech is going to get better. The material science will get better. So batteries may not always have that sort of impact on the environment as they do today. And
Right.
we may be able to figure out other ways of making those batteries that go in cars. And then
Oh,
the
well,
grid's the grid's going to be updated.
The grid's gonna sort itself out, or we'll all die. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean,
Rob,
we'll
me
have
and
rolling
you need to
blackouts.
patent. Rob, me and you need to patent a way to take Tesla superchargers and turn them into hydrogen pumps. We've already got the power there. We just need to pipe some water in, and then we'll just get rid of the EVs altogether.
Pipe some water
Real
in.
easy.
Well, that's the thing, because I mean, hydrogen has never been. They've never had it to where it can actually produce energy, and they finally are getting steps to where it is becoming at least 1-to-1 ratio, or I don't know.
Are
or
they?
not.
Have you?
Aren't they like
But-
infinitely less safe though? Like hydrogen vehicles. Isn't that
Yeah,
the
hydrogen's
biggest
pretty
threat?
volatile from what I
Have you
understand.
watched a video of like one of those hydrogen fuel pumps for a car or whatever? I think they have those like in Japan. They might. I mean, I don't think they have them anywhere in the United States, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I think
Hydrogen?
they do. Yeah,
I think
in some
there's one
places.
like close to my house by Angel
Yeah, I figured
Stadium.
if anywhere it would be California.
I had never seen one, but I live in Georgia, so
But have you ever watched like a video of those things?
No.
I've watched a
Very
video of like
interesting.
one on fire, I think, but like as a
Yeah, they're
clip.
very interesting.
well, that's what I'm getting at there. I think
I know you're saying they're gonna fix them and get better and improve them and all that.
right, but that's what I'm getting at though. Is like I don't know if EVs will ever be good enough to really like make a huge impact and change on this world. And I think that's my biggest hiccup with EVs, not just Tesla. I mean, I don't like I said, it's not like I'm hating on Tesla and not hating on any other EV like Rivian or
Yeah, it's
anything
the
like
same argument. It's why I won't go buy a Rivian. It's the same thing. I'm not
it's
picking favorites.
I just don't think the benefits are really truly there right now.
Right.
And
see-
and
Go ahead.
that's what I want to that's why I'm not invested in it and all that stuff. Because like I said, if I do it now,
What
in the next
benefits
10,
aren't there?
15 just
That it's better for the
Envir-
environment. Yeah.
exactly.
Agreed. That's not there. I would agree with that.
Yeah. See, my
So-
thing is, and I
And
know
I know
that,
you don't care about that, John. I
yeah, I
mean,
was about to say, like, if it were worse for the environment, like clear as day, worse for the environment, I just enjoy it more.
right, yeah.
Damn.
Well, I don't mean you don't care about the environment. I just meant like your opinion on Tesla is that
Right,
you
right,
love
right, right.
Tesla,
Yeah.
and- yeah, exactly.
I care about the environment. I really do.
Yeah, I don't not care about the environment. I'm just saying, like, that's not how I choose my vehicle.
I
which is
think it's
It's
obviously not
literally
how
for
you
the
choose yours
driving.
either.
You just think the driving experience is
Right.
better, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, it pretty much is.
Oh, that's
I mean, it's
what-
like driving an iPhone
If I could put
Oh,
Tesla's
God.
smartphone.
technology, if I could put Tesla's technology in every vehicle, I would feel like I'd feel like the United States, because America, the only thing that matters, is what would be what would be way safer roads and everything like that. Because I think like when I watch it and look at it, everything is so cool. Like I can see everything. My blind spots are there. Like I know we have like in my F-150, we have a little spot like has a little thing if there's someone's in a blind spot, but like actually be able to look at a screen and seeing all that stuff it's just a lot better, I feel like. And I like so there's probably a lot of technology that I don't even know about because I haven't.
Like driving a fighter jet, dude. It's amazing. You have
Right.
fucking radar and targeting.
Oh my
mean-
Yeah, your
God.
dad's got one, doesn't he, Mason?
No, my dad's got a Lexus.
Did he used to have a Tesla? Am I making this up?
He test drove and thought about it for a
That's
while,
right,
but
that's
no,
right.
ultimately did not.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. What we need to be researching while we're talking about all this. So we send these fucking rovers to different planets, and they run on like nuclear reactors somehow, and they're just like out there just generating their own energy. Why don't we have a whole bunch of those on the road? Like, what's going on with that?
Our rovers
flux
are
capacitor?
literally powered by nuclear energy.
Yeah,
We
portions
put
of
like
them.
many.
There's I think there's a combination. Like some of them were solar panels, obviously, because some of
Yeah,
them
I knew that.
got dusty and died. But
Yeah.
I mean, nuclear subs and nuclear fucking carriers and all that. Like,
Oh, I agree with you. It's just the amount of technology it would take to get that to fit in a car is
What
Be a
happens if
hefty
you get in
lift.
an accident? An atomic bomb?
Have you seen Hiroshima?
Yeah,
I don't know,
Mushrooms.
honestly. It would be bad though. That's a good point.
all right, Flick, what's up, man? What you think? What's your next vehicle?
Should I take George Springer with my next pick?
I knew that. I would know who that
Who's
is.
George
I'm
Springer?
gonna be honest. Yeah.
in
Uh,
relation to Jerry,
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Ha!
Can we take a minute here
the
and
late
talk
great
about
Jerry.
what we were talking about in the group chat? There's a man on this earth of the name Jack.
Oh, Jack Sock?
Dude,
Dude, he's an
how do you-
Olympian. He's an Olympic
Terrell.
medalist.
He
It's a
was
roll.
a
It's
top.
terrible,
He was a
man.
top 10 player for 2 years, and I mean, like, and played a lot of like big matches. Like, I don't know how
Yeah.
in the world you did not know about this guy.
Every man
Well,
has known about
Well, dude,
this
these
guy
people don't know about Coco
when they were
Gauff,
like
bro.
15.
That's true too.
Jack Sock.
I had plenty of Jack Socks.
That's
back
the
in day.
worst name of all time.
Well, that's simply
Ah.
not true.
Yeah.
I like.
There's
I like
see, speak back to Reddit. There's an entire Reddit that I'm in based on terrible names. It's called Tragedy, but it's spelled EIGH. And it's just all these, like millennial people having children and naming them like Absidy and all that kind of crap.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not going to say her name,
Jack
but
Sock's worse.
Dawn, our 6th grade teacher, when she got married, her last name changed, and then what her name was had to be a worse name.
It was like Cox or something.
Lisa Holden Cock.
Oh,
Cut.
How did
she was
you
not
know?
our 6th grade teacher. Her son was in our class when we were in 6th grade, but she was never our teacher.
Oh,
Who's this?
Stephen Holden's mom.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that. So 3,
Yeah, but
2, 1, Jack Sock. Come on, that's a terrible name.
No, it's not that bad.
They
actually.
love making puns of it. If you watch the pickleball broadcast, you'll every time he's on, which anytime he's playing, he's on TV because he's the biggest name right now.
Hold on. I'm gonna ask Haley.
Oh, Jack really sucked that one.
Haley, is Jack Sock the worst name you ever heard? Sock. Yeah.
He's gonna be really pissed.
She
when he
said
hears
it's not great.
It's. I mean, it's.
Dude, when's that thing coming out the oven?
I don't know. He's just hanging in there. We got a doctor's appointment tomorrow,
He's
so
just- he's vibing.
When did you say the due date was, Joe?
the 25th.
Dang.
Yeah,
Mm.
we're close.
And y'all are back in Georgia now?
Thank God. We could.
How long
That's a
have you been back?
podcast topic in itself, right there. Like,
Ooh, you're going to.
Yeah, what happened with all
I'll
that
do.
shit?
I'll
Yeah,
say it.
it's
Let's.
all-
I'm gonna say it right now.
Go ahead and roll, baby.
Y'all ready?
Let's roll.
Yeah.
Texas has got everybody fooled. It's not better. It's not. It's not. This is a great state. And I said it.
I
I
said
mean,
it.
I would.
I
if
don't
I
care
had
that you
my
hurt
way-
your elbow.
If I had my own way in Georgia, if we could just like build a great wall around outer Atlanta and let them have their own government, and then the rest of the state,
Like the
Well,
Vatican, Atlanta becomes the Vatican,
yes,
except the opposite.
yes, and I
Yeah.
would, that's how we
Literally.
we could run the state that way. It'd be the best state.
Well, I mean, I guess isn't that how the whole thing was meant to be designed anyway? Like, local governments were supposed to have all the power over their little jurisdiction. So,
Yep.
so what are we doing?
Well,
What happened? When did we give up that power?
Joe, when did y'all come back from Texas?
Mid-December.
Oh, holy crap!
Yeah, we went
So,
back
Hey,
for a
what
while.
didn't you
Good
like
seeing you.
about it?
What did I not like about it?
boots.
It's not special. No, so it's not okay. So let me let's back up.
This guy said boots.
Back up. So it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's definitely not one of the worst states out there.
Well,
But it's not like
Well,
you know how
I
like
live
the
in
whole
worst state, so
the whole like you know how fucking people from Texas are about Texas, and that's fine.
yeah,
it's pride
they
in your
get off
state
to
and all.
themselves.
But
y'all were in
it's
what
not special.
city?
San Antonio. But I mean, I've been all over. I've been all over that fucking place, and it's
Well, right.
I've
I'm
heard
just, I'm
Houston
just
is
wondering
the
if
place
it
to
was
be.
if it was better before Joe Rogan brought all the California libs over.
Hi Sadie cameo, or that's not the right word. Not cameo.
I think it's gonna be every episode. This is
Yeah.
Pan?
What is she doing? Look,
Pan
She's
over? I don't
digging.
know what it's called.
yeah, it's something dogs do. Like I forget what it's exactly called, but she
Sadie.
does. Like she doesn't tear anything up. But
Sadie.
it's like something to do with her
Sadie.
scent.
Can she hear me?
Sadie.
Hey girl.
Hey,
What up?
That's awesome, dude. Dogs are the greatest.
They're pretty
Oh.
good. Anyway, so Texas is not a bad place. I would definitely like.
hey.
It's probably my. I guess it's. I've never really thought about this, but God,
That'd be
it's got to
top
be in
five
my
states,
top
right?
5. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
So it's fine. I'm just saying it's not like leagues ahead of.
No state income tax. Is that
no-
right?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
a pretty good one.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
Florida's got that.
Yeah. Florida,
Florida's
Tennessee,
better.
Texas. Who
I
else?
think. Ooh, God, if take the water away from Florida, Texas is better than Florida.
I would, 100%. But the Florida Gulf Coast,
It's pretty good. Well,
Beautiful
I
place.
like both sides. I'm not,
Ooh, here
I'm
we
not too
go.
partial.
I bet
Mason-
you do.
Mason. Now, merely talking about beaches here, West Coast, East Coast. What's your take?
Gulf Coast.
So like when it comes to like Pacific versus Atlantic, I don't
Like
really
this-
give a shit. They both kind of suck to me. If you want to surf,
Yeah,
the
Pacific.
West Coast is the place to be for sure. But like I'm a Gulf guy. Like if I could live on the Gulf Coast somewhere, that would be the place because I like the warm water.
Yeah.
Like that's a game changer for me. The white sand beaches are definitely better on the Gulf. Like the sand out here in California is.
I've
Other
been to
than the fact that
California
you have
one
to,
time and I didn't go to the beach, so that's why I have no idea.
you get there's a lot of dodging heroin needles. It's not the best.
Nice.
So I agreed with you just then, like wholeheartedly. But I enjoyed going down to the beach and all in San Clemente, and then what was the place we went to? Oh, Laguna Beach and all, like going down there, like all that's really pretty.
Yeah, those places are absolutely stunning. They're beautiful.
You know,
But that water is really cold.
Yeah, it was. Well, I guess it was November when we were there, so it was like obviously cold. But the hills and all, man, you just don't you don't get that anywhere else. Like those.
Are they
like,
alive with the sound of
water-
music?
Yeah, they were.
Well, yeah, like the California has the unique ability where you can go to the beach, drive an hour, and ski. Right? You're not going to get that anywhere else
Yeah, California
that I know of.
geographically is a fucking awesome place.
No, dude. If this was a conservative state, it would hands down be the best state in the country.
Yeah.
So about those H bombs. What hydrogen bomb, atomic bomb?
I thought you were talking about some racist term for a
I'm
second.
just saying we
I
could
had no
arrange
idea
that.
what was
We'll just
going
have to.
It's like H Trump and H
I have
bombs.
no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
where are we
saying
going
can
with
kill-
this?
We can just blow up California and redo it.
I don't think it'd be the same, and we'd have to
Yeah,
wait
sure it
100
would.
years or whatever.
Yeah, the 50-year waiting period's a little rough.
No, it'll be
Are
fine.
they? They're in Hiroshima, aren't they?
What?
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry?
What?
Like
They're in
like-
Japan.
Yeah.
Do people live there?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
I think the city's rebuilt.
Oh, there we go. I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
I think
in
I think
Nagasaki.
the U.S. went over there and did a lot of cleaning up. Kind of felt a little bad about incinerating 1 million people.
It was
You know,
100,000.
Yeah,
Little over
but
Yeah, we warned them and stuff, so it was not as bad as
you
it
know
could've been.
that's what's crazy is like how many. Never mind. That's too political. Never mind.
Flick.
You got to finish the thought.
Yeah,
Well,
let's hear it.
No, it's just how crazy is like in every other dynasty or empire, whatever you want to call it. Like when you went to war and you fought them and you conquered them, they then became part of you. Whatever, blah 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 blah. And America's like really truly like the first big empire to like go to war and defeat people, and then they helped raise it back up.
Not have a colonial mindset. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
We really
yeah.
failed in the Middle East doing that though. Probably because we left. too early.
No joke. What do you mean? The exit was perfectly executed.
And 3, 2, 1. We're back.
I'm telling you. No, I think that's a pretty safe topic. I don't think anybody would agree that the exit was great. It's just people would vehemently disagree whose fault it is. So,
Yeah.
Well, it's the government's fault.
Joe Biden, right?
So where else? What that's an interesting topic. Like, okay, so I also think Seattle's. I only heard bad things about Seattle, and then I went there and I was like, okay, my first experience was like I left the hotel. I took a right. I was going from the Sheraton downtown, and I was gonna go up to like one of those like big Starbucks like roastery places or whatever it's called. It's like the
Yeah.
big giant Starbucks with all the brass and shit in it. And I take a right, just the first right, like right out of the hotel. I take a right, and there's just this dude bare ass taking a shit in a windowsill. And I'm like,
Very nice.
oh, okay. And I just crossed the street. Now, that's the craziest thing I've seen. The rest of the city is actually like really clean and really nice, and it's a pretty place.
Now, are we counting Chaz as part of Seattle?
I thought that was in Portland.
Oh, was it?
I
Chris
think
one of
so.
Seattle.
I'm pretty
Wait,
sure.
what is
Yeah, I think it was
Chaz? Is that
Portland.
where they like wouldn't let the cops in and all that?
Yeah, I think that's
No,
Portland.
yeah.
I think that's Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
Well,
dude.
I,
I
think,
will say this though, like you talking about big cities and whatnot.
yeah.
I've been to a lot of big cities. Like I mean, and I would say out of all the big cities I've been to, Dallas is definitely my favorite.
Dallas.
Dallas is 100% my favorite.
Dallas is fun. Dallas is fun.
Have you ever
I
been to
mean-
Austin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Austin is.
Oh yeah, I know.
Austin's not my favorite. It has got too many homeless, and I know it's in certain areas that I mean, like
yeah.
the whole Sixth Street thing is like it's very bad. Like I mean, I've been out there. I'm going out there in October, and like I went out there for 4 days back in August, and I mean, like we walked down Sixth Street, and I know like I think the west side's okay and the east side's not, or vice versa. I don't remember, but we literally like homeless people off the main drag, like directly off the main drag. There's 40 of them sitting there doing this, and they're shooting up
I
stuff,
think that's
doing all
everywhere now,
crazy
though.
stuff.
Like you can't avoid that. That's in
And-
Seattle too.
How
Dude,
wild is
it's so bad out here in
Well,
SoCal.
I know, but that's what's like. How can no local government like figure a way to not have that? Because like I mean, and then a lady came over and like all the birds and
Here's a
scooters, whatever,
topic.
they're
Yeah.
just knocking them over, like hitting cars and stuff. And I'm
I've
like,
watched that. It's
and I'm
so
like,
bad.
why are you doing that? Like you're just literally doing like property damage to these cars and whatnot, and no one's doing anything about it because the cops are told not to touch them, not do this, not to do that, and it's like how is this like? Why can't we fix this? Like how?
I mean, did I tell
freaking
you
hard
what
is
happened to my car in Long Beach?
Where the dude shit on it or something.
No, he picked up a fucking barrel, like a planter barrel, and chunked it on my car. The cops come knocking on my door at 10
We
o'clock
are
at
farmers.
night, and like I open the door and I have a gun in my hand, which is probably stupid. But anyways, put that to the side. And so we're talking everything, and Jess, my wife's like, "So what can we do about this?" He's like, "Well, you're in LA County, so there's really nothing we can do about it here to stop the homelessness problem because they'll just be out. If I were you, I'd move to a more conservative area."
what
Exact
they
words
said
of the
to you?
cop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
straight up.
Well, the homeless problem is bad everywhere, but I
Here's
still
a hot
think
take topic.
Atlanta's my least favorite city, like out there right now.
I think that all drugs should be legalized. What's up?
Oh, you're crazy as hell.
wow.
Because might as well be able to tax it. I mean, you're not stopping it. I
Alright,
don't think more
but
people are gonna
That
be doing it.
Yeah.
that
Somewhat
whole
more,
that whole
maybe.
Portland thing, the whole Portland thing you were just talking about, where they legalized all the drugs. They're like, I don't even know what's the opposite of legalize. Illegalizing drugs, some of the drugs back again because they had so many problems with people just being like, cracked out of their heads and running around doing crazy shit.
Well, I
Prohibited.
think it should be like, as in the government should be involved in the distribution of it. Like,
Yeah, but what
I'm
do you
not saying
do?
it should
What do you
just be
do with a
like-
bunch of meth heads that are like running around just stealing shit?
I don't
'Cause
know. At least you make
that's
money
the
off of it.
only way. That's the only direction that leads.
Yeah, but then when the government kills thousands and thousands of people, and then people,
But are we
want-
gonna miss them?
Probably some of them.
No,
yeah.
well, I mean, some
Hot
yes.
take.
Because,
Think
I mean,
about the
how
the
many-
oxy.
how
epidemic.
many like someone have one bad experience and like they've never done drugs before, then all of a sudden it's like I don't
Well,
want to
but see,
do
if it's
meth.
regulated and all that, and the production is regulated, then you won't have all the fentanyl laced crap and
That's true.
whatever. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
but
Like it won't be.
That's true, but like there was no fentanyl in OxyContin, and that was still a fucking massive problem.
No,
I mean, I
mean,
think they should legalize a lot of drugs. There are definitely some ones that should not be legalized, like
I-
heroin. That should probably never be
I
legalized.
can agree with that. I can agree with that. Yeah,
I just don't. I don't think that
marijuana should be
heroin
legal.
would. I don't think that the use of it would really uptick if it was legalized.
I don't know about that. I think that's what you'd be shocked about, John.
Yeah, I think so. too.
Maybe.
I kind of agree with John on that one. I think the people that are using it are probably going to continue to use it, and the amount of
Yeah.
people that are going to try it just because it's legal is probably not that high. But that's obviously
Yeah.
a fucking guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
so
like,
much.
you know, people. You hear about people that are like big drug guys that are like, I mean, holy heroin, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think cocaine should be legal.
Do you?
Oh, Lord, y'all.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, you
I'm
got-
not sure about that one.
I mean,
I
anything you
mean,
can-
Wall
anything you
Street would
can-
cease to exist if it didn't.
Wait, what?
Wall Street would cease to
Yeah.
exist if we didn't have cocaine. So might as well legalize it and tax it.
Valid point.
Yeah, those bastards.
Well, once again, I don't really care about that, but at the same time, I don't understand why we can't go down and all the
I
cartels.
mean, Adderall and all that stuff is legal, and that's basically cocaine.
Dude, that's what we need to do. Our special forces guys are bored right now. Let's go let them shoot up Mexico.
We tell the
Spec-
go.
we should,
We
put-
tell.
we should
this is what
specify
we do.
what
I
part.
have the plan. I already have the plan. This is what you do. You get on the phone. You call the president of Mexico and say, "Hey,
Oh my god.
I'm about to do this, and you're not gonna say anything, and
Yeah.
we're gonna go
You
in
can
there."
take all the credit.
Yeah, exactly. And we go in there and we're gonna blow it up, stop all the production, figure out, we can cut off some heads. We do whatever we want with
It's not
these
that easy.
cartel people.
It's not that easy. It's basically like
Yeah, but
the
we can
same
find.
problem that you had in the Middle East, but probably worse because they have money, lots of money.
They
Yeah,
do
but
have a
we-
lot of money.
They have a lot of money, and we have
He's got a
promise
lot of
you-
money.
we have a bigger army than they can ever dream of stopping. And if we just went, we
Yeah,
can
but
literally,
that's not-
we can
that's-
literally just
Actually, it
send in
could be
missiles.
really profitable for us if
We
we
could-
went down there and took all our money back.
Yeah, but we also have like an infinitely larger army than the Taliban, and look who's back in control in the Middle East. Like it's just not that simple. It's a generational problem. That's where we failed there too.
Well, I know, but
Well,
there
if
for
you make
20
the
years
drugs
now.
legal, if you make drugs legal and you do the production in the U.S., they're fucked.
No,
Yo,
they'll
but
just
if
they'll
we
just
go and blow up the-
they'll just
where we're making
legalize their
drugs,
operations too.
what do you do from there?
What'd you say?
I mean, if they're making drugs in Mexico, that's the problem. And so if we go blow up where they're making drugs and stuff like that,
They
that
don't
is-
even
I
know.
mean,
They don't know where all those spots are. They don't know where those spots are. They don't know. They don't know everything. We don't know everything, and they'll just make another one.
I do.
They'll just make another one.
I understand they'll make another one, but if you keep doing it though, they're not gonna be able to do it.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like it's the same problem that we had in the Middle East, and we were there for 20 years, and we never got we didn't stay long enough to change people's minds. That's what you have to do. You change
Yeah,
people's
but
minds.
the
You're
reason
right
we-
about that. You can't
reason
fight
we
a
went
war
to
on
the-
ideology.
Well, the
Yeah.
reason we went to the Middle East though is because we thought they were gonna hurt our oil production or the oil production over there, and then that we were gonna have a problem. So that is the reason why we went over there. The reason why we're not going over to Mexico is because there's no immediate threat besides them
They're a
killing
sovereign country.
hundreds. Because
Because the
killing
CIA is
hundreds-
making bank on
Well,
heroin.
I
Yeah.
know, but I'm saying, but besides causing or killing 100,000 people of us, of our generation every year, but it's fine.
No,
No big deal.
Like I get what you're saying. It would be great. You're saying we should get rid of the cartels. That's like, I think everybody would agree with that. That would be great. Get rid of the cartels. Awesome.
Absolutely. Smoke 'em.
But I don't think it's not that simple. You don't just send an army in somewhere and like beat somebody in a day, or even again, we were in the Middle East for 20 years and we didn't accomplish anything.
Yeah, but we also couldn't do anything. I mean, how much red tape did we literally couldn't have loaded weapons while they were on patrol.
You think that I don't know about that, but you think the
Look it up.
you think that the
There was a policy they couldn't, when they were on those Humvees and whatnot and going through town, they could not have loaded guns until someone shot at them,
I
and
don't
then
think
they
that's
could
true.
load the guns.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. They couldn't shoot first.
They did have
rules of
some weird
engagement.
rules about. They did have some weird rules of engagement, like they couldn't keep shooting, and like they had to be shot at first, and like if the guy puts his gun down, you can't shoot him. I'd say still kill him, but that's me.
But like, why is it going to be better in Mexico if we go down there? It's going to be the same stuff.
Well, I get that, but like I understand what you're saying, but like I just think we should just take over. I mean, I don't understand why we don't take over the country and just make it part of us. Is what I really don't understand. But that's just
Probably
I know
because
you
it's
don't
not
want to get rid of
really-
cultures and all that stuff, and it looks bad, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I don't think anyone in Mexico. I mean, sure, there's safe spots in Mexico, 100%. I'm not denying that, but like there's a lot of bad spots in Mexico where Mexican culture, like any business and whatnot, has to pay the cartel for protection and stuff like that. I mean, like, we see that stuff on movies and whatnot, but like that is actual, like that is very real. And
Yeah, it
you
happens in
can't-
Brooklyn too.
but you can't tell me that's not like, I'd rather try to go down there and help fix it as opposed to like just let this continue and let it get bigger and let it be more of a problem, because at some point it's like, how does having this little problem, and then when it evolves into something that's so big that we can't stop it, like that's where I feel like that'll go. But I don't know.
I wonder what
could
would
be wrong.
happen. I wonder what would happen if you polled the citizens of Mexico and asked them how they would feel about the United States taking over. I wonder what they would say.
That would be interesting. If there's any left
Because
in Mexico.
I got what you're going for. There might not be.
Just saying. Well, I mean, listen, you can't just go invading sovereign countries. That's
I mean, it's just like going to war. I mean, you think, what do you
People
think?
do it all the time.
yeah,
All
but
the
not
time.
for not for really good reasons.
You don't think us getting, I mean, all this.
We're so good at making reasons up.
Well, I mean, but you don't think us
What?
literally having 100,000 people die from drugs every year, like, is not a good reason?
I actually,
I
you know,
mean-
it's a okay. So that's a double-edged sword. I'll tell you why. I agree. I think that what the cartels do is bad, but it's what the. Oh, that's a cute face.
What does that mean?
You like cut out for a second. What they do that's bad to me is like all the like secondary stuff that comes along with being, you know, like a mobbish type thing and but selling drugs is not the thing that I think is that bad, because somebody on the other end is paying for it. They want it. Like, they're the dummies that are buying it and doing it. Like,
Well, it's
why
the-
why are we not
But it's
holding
the
them accountable?
fentanyl. It's the fentanyl laced stuff that is killing people.
Why are
though,
they
that, like,
doing it to begin with?
Jordan,
Blind
people,
man, baby.
Jordan, people have been doing drugs since the dawn of time.
Yeah, but I'm saying I get it. I agree, and it's fine if someone wants to do drugs, but be accountable for it. Don't be like, oh, it's just I did drugs and it's just the cartel's fault. Like, no, there was a decision point in there somewhere. You made that decision.
Sure, but not all drugs kill you, and then you all of a sudden you get a drug laced with fentanyl, and fentanyl kills you like that.
Yeah, but if you weren't doing the
And-
drug, then you wouldn't have that risk.
Yeah, but once you're addicted to drugs, your free will kind of goes out the window.
Of course, I agree.
But
Yeah, but you-
there is the initial decision that
Right.
Yes,
There's
yeah,
always
that-
like
but-
there's always like a moment in time where it's a clear-headed decision to do something. Now, what happens after that, obviously, and people are different. Everybody's impacted differently, but it's not.
But you can't.
You got to hold
Yeah.
somebody. You can't just blame it on somebody, like wholeheartedly on somebody else.
So say I get in my car tonight and I want to go get Brewsters or something, and someone hits me and kills me. It's also partly my fault. I want to go get freaking Brewsters.
I mean,
That's a terrible analogy.
There are certain things that have certain inherent risks, and I don't think that going to Brewster's is one that you can chalk up to inherent risk.
I get what you're saying. And yes, actually, it is your fault, but the accountability thing doesn't apply in that situation. I mean, you get in a car, every time you get in a car, there's an inherent risk that you're going to die. It's a pretty
Yeah,
risky
yeah.
behavior. Like, I would say walk to Brewster's, you know? But, you know, you're the one that came up with the analogy. I'm just saying walk down the sidewalk. It's slightly safer.
said that. Like, what? I mean, like, I could walk down the side of the road and someone hit me in the car just as easily.
Yep, it's less risky than driving.
I understand that, but that's my whole point. Is like,
If you want to high, I've been told
Everything
that
I
if
do
you
has a
run
risk.
far enough, that eventually you'll get a high. I haven't encountered it, but you could do that instead.
Did Forrest Gump tell you that?
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a runner's high and feel okay, but it's not going to slap you like heroin is.
Clearly not.
You're
But
right.
you know what I'm saying though, Rob. You get it. You can't just them putting
No.
fentanyl in shit is wrong. Agreed. Flat wrong. But why is that person doing heroin to begin with?
But it's not heroin. That I mean, sure, it's in heroin, yes. But I'm saying like
It's in like Xanax and stuff too. that
exactly.
people are getting on the
And
street.
people get like,
why are they
I
getting
mean,
Xanax on the street?
because not
Jordan,
everyone.
have you ever popped a Xan from somebody you didn't 100% know where you came
I've
from?
never popped a Xan to begin with. Like, what is it? There, I guess this is where we should come back in. 3, 2, 1. It's not just a if drugs are legal thing. It's more about like legality and regulating them so that people are getting them from good known sources. If you just legalize it, people are still going to get it from Jim Bob down the street who was making the
Okay,
meth in
so-
his trailer.
But do you not think
That's
that,
fine, but I
I mean,
but I am
moonshine
always
sales
assuming
certainly
that
went down when-
legalization comes with regulation. That was the I feel like
Yeah,
legalization
moonshine
comes with
sales
regulation.
certainly dropped when prohibition was ended.
you're right, John? And but my thing is, I don't like drugs are hard to get now, and I see like I know you can say, oh, I can go down the street and get some drugs, sure, whatever. I agree, but it's not near as easy as going into a fucking store and saying, I want weed, I want cocaine, and getting it. And I think that is still a big, like, that's what prevents a lot of people from doing drugs, I think. And then if that's all of a sudden it's legal and I can just walk into a store and be like, yeah, give me some cocaine, give me a little.
I personally
Xanax."
don't know a single person that has wanted to do drugs that could not do drugs.
Oh, I mean, if you want it bad enough, you can figure it out. Of course.
That's my point. I
Yeah,
don't know a
right.
single person that,
but
that barriers to
That's not.
entry.
That's
was
not
the-
I
what.
do
That's,
agree- I do
those
agree
aren't
with
the people. Those aren't the
Rob.
people I'm talking about, though. I think there's gonna
So-
be someone that's just be like, "Oh, I've never done this before." I've seen it. I've done that. Like, and then they get hooked to it, and then it's a problem. And like I said, that's because cocaine is very addictive. There's a bunch of drugs that are very addictive, and there's people that have addictive personalities that don't need to be doing drugs. And just the ease of getting drugs, making it any easier to get drugs, is not helpful to anybody, in my opinion.
You're absolutely right, because when it becomes legal, then there's this new societal norm that comes along with it. Okay, pot's legal. Okay, pot's not bad for me anymore. Same thing with alcohol. Alcohol's legal, it's not bad for me. So you start doing it, legalizing drugs like cocaine and stuff like that, then it becomes more of a societal norm, and then people are like, oh, it's not so bad for me to use this. So I do think you make a really good point there.
And
And
that's
I agree
Well, I don't like-
that I agree that it's like the barrier to entry keeps a lot of people from trying it. Like you just like I don't
It's
know,
taboo.
I don't know a drug dealer. Like I would have to go like if I wanted to do something, I would have to go dig around and find somebody. It might
I
take
had a
little
wrong
while.
number asking if I had a plug the other night.
A who?
Plug,
What is that?
a
plug is like
means
a
you get-
hookup for drugs.
Yeah.
A drug
God.
dealer.
Yeah, and so he called me and I said, "Dude, you got the wrong number." Yeah, he calls back. He's like, and I was like, "Dude, we just did this." And he's like, "Oh, it's the same number." He's like, "Bro, you got any plugs?"
Jeez, how about that? I learned a new vocabulary term tonight.
Yeah, Katie
So-
did too when that happened.
What do you think, Flick? Legalize or no legalize?
I don't know enough about it to say either.
Come on, just have an
Oh,
opinion.
there's a
I mean,
political
that's
answer. When
all-
are you running for politics?
I'd vote
I mean,
for nobody.
my point is like, I haven't done any research on this. Like, I haven't thought about it in
off
this
the cuff.
way.
Off the cuff. You
Yeah.
can change your
Like,
answer down the road.
I don't know. Like, I
We're
could say
just-
something.
We're just a bunch
Bro,
of
I
don't
monkeys
know
sitting
that.
around.
Bruh,
just
when in
talking.
doubt, see your
I
way
also-
out. You got to bubble in an answer. Give us
I
an
also
answer.
don't really care.
What's your gut tell you?
That's not an answer. You can't write in.
Legalize it.
Legalize it?
I mean, for the most part, yeah.
Legalize everything.
That's the one. I don't know. I don't
So
think
you're
everything.
down to legalize some things, but not
I
everything.
mean, weed. I don't think anybody can really
Whatever.
argue weed shouldn't be legalized at this point. Like, it's kind of stupid.
Which
Like,
ones
nonsense.
have the biggest illegal sales? Cocaine.
Definitely.
You think
Okay, so yeah, I think I think the ones that
Well, I said
bet
that
I
are
mean,
not as big of a not I say a bad problem that aren't as widespread like you know what I mean, like there aren't as many people. I say that shit. I don't know. Doing heroin as cocaine, I assume.
I have no idea about the numbers. So
yeah,
Flick,
but-
Flick, you think weed's like the only one that I can think of that I'm like, yeah, probably should be fine. But I still think I think that like the whole like, oh, weed is better than cigarettes for you thing. I'm like, nah, that doesn't seem right to me. Like it just doesn't
I mean-
sound right. It doesn't seem right.
I
It
mean, there's a
seems
good
like-
argument that's better than alcohol.
It doesn't seem like
Why
that.
doesn't it seem that way though?
And okay, so I don't know anything about this. But like
It
just
all very much depends on the mode of ingestion, because if you're talking about smoking cigarettes versus taking an edible, there's no argument.
Okay, that's true. I agree with that. But like smoking it, that just doesn't sound right to me. It seems like
Burning-
it's
jive.
still
Burning
really
plant
bad.
matter and inhaling it, no matter what it is all bad for you. We all, it's
That's
gonna
And-
cause lung cancer. Like everybody, I mean, yeah.
This is from a recovery center's website. It says Cocaine is an addictive stimulant in powder form. It is usually snorted or injected, and it produces an energy high or sense of euphoria. As many as 1,800 Americans try cocaine for the first time every day.
Every day.
Every day. I don't know if I believe that.
How many of those
Well,
are in Athens?
mm,
1,700.
Half.
yeah.
Seventeen.
But like, if that's the case, like, hell no, do not make cocaine legal. Absolutely not.
Well, 1,800 people a day is not that many, right? I mean,
That's
that
new-
seems like
new-
a
that's
really
new-
big number,
new
but
time.
say,
I mean, so whatever, 1,800 times.
As many as also sounds like a fishy way of wording it.
yeah,
That's true.
like one day it might be
That's
one.
not a hard number.
Yeah,
next,
like,
day,
yeah,
next day is
exactly.
1,800. Yeah. No,
So it's globally, it's recorded that 5% of the population has used illicit drugs at least once in their lifetime. It means 269 million people worldwide have consumed illegal drugs. Additionally, 35.6 million of those are considered addicts or drug abusers.
that's
Well,
world.
hey,
That's globally.
if they were legal, then they wouldn't be using illegal drugs.
That's globally, Rob.
Globally, yes.
Okay. So what was the 5%?
Only
number?
5%?
That was globally.
Mm-hmm.
5%.
What a bunch of
globally.
fucking
Wow.
pussies.
I want to know what percent of adults or of 15 plus or 15 to 35 or something. You know what I mean? Like
As
whatever.
of 2017,
number?
as of 2017, it was estimated that
I
11.2%
bet not.
or 53.2 Americans over age 12 had used illicit drugs in the past month.
Wait,
Wait,
say
I'm
that
sorry.
s-
What was
yeah,
that number?
Read
Yeah,
that
I
one
missed
more time.
that.
So this was in 2017. It said it was estimated that 11.2% of or 53.2 million Americans over age 12 had used an illicit drug within the past month. A number that is up from 9.2% in 2012.
That's a lot.
Wait, what percent? Sorry.
11%.
11.2.
50 plus million, 50-ish million people in the last month.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That seems high. Like, there's probably nobody in this room that would make that.
no,
I don't think any of us has done not an illicit one.
I haven't. No.
Wow, that's crazy.
So marijuana falls into that category, though, right? So
It's
I
not
I
wonder-
would
illicit.
assume not.
Well, I guess it depends on where it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Actually.
Yeah.
It's
All right, boys.
legal-
Well,
it's
I gotta
legal
I gotta
everywhere.
bounce.
Well, enjoy.
All
it.
right,
man.
John.
Sleep tight.
Thank God
You
this guy's
kids.
gone. Oh wait, he hadn't dropped.
Enjoyed it.
See ya.
Later, bro.
I don't know. That's kind of crazy. 50. That's a lot of. I mean, that well,
50
considering there's only
million, 50 million people.
that's
What do you
one
think
out of
you got?
seven.
And you
That's
said
one
within
out
the
of
past
7
month,
Americans,
right?
Yeah, that's 1 out of 7 Americans.
That is banana. Is that real? Share your screen. Show us the money.
How do I do this?
Shit. America be getting lit.
Hey, I'll
telling
link.
you.
I'll link this.
And what is? Yeah. So illicit drug. What falls into that? I want to. I guess.
Yeah, I would like to see that definition too.
I think I would have to.
Oh, I guess I
assume
should pull this
marijuana.
up, huh? Let me pull it up.
I would have to assume marijuana is also included in this.
All right.
Because because this was in 2017. I don't think marijuana was legal in any state at that point.
Marijuana's under that list though. 43.5 million Americans having used it at least once in the year 2018. Wow.
I wonder when was it legalized in California?
Tobacco is under that. Is under that category.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
50 million
It
users.
says
daily.
it says though legal though.
Yeah, that one is legal, but it's under the list of illicit,
Oh.
widely used illicit drugs. What is illicit drugs? What is that defined as?
Well, it's right there underneath for it.
Illicit drugs.
So
refer
California
to-
legalized marijuana in 2016.
Yeah. Illicit drugs refers to highly addictive and illegal substances such as heroin, marijuana, and meth. So I guess anything that's highly addictive, which does caffeine fall into that category? No, I guess it missed the cut.
Fucking sugar's more addictive than heroin.
Wow.
Says in 2019 it was determined that 3.5% of illicit drug users were specifically abusing prescription drugs.
How? Wait. Say that again. That's an interesting one.
In 2019, it was determined that 3.5% of illicit drug users were specifically abusing prescription drugs.
Just kidding. I'm back.
That's a lot too, huh?
That's a lot.
God,
The prescription drug abuse is dangerous.
it's absurd.
Oh yeah.
Damn, boy.
Dude, you want to know why that is? Because Xanax, because ADHD is the most overdiagnosed thing that's ever existed in the entire world. I'll die on that hill.
Well,
Dude, everyone gets distracted. Everyone.
yeah. It
but-
probably is really up there, but I wonder, like, I mean, the overprescription of pain meds in the
Bro, when I was in
opioid-
college, I would go to the library and pull an all-nighter and probably study for 45 minutes. And I never once took a Xanax. Like,
Well, you meant
Xanax
like-
would not be a good
Adderall.
study drug.
yeah.
or
Xanax.
Adderall. I don't know what. I don't know
Yeah.
what. I don't know. But yeah, whatever. Just Adderall, whatever.
We got you.
Well, so what? I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know enough about ADHD and ADD and whatnot, but I mean, like, is
Neither do the
ADHD
doctors. That's the problem.
but is ADHD just for kids or is ADHD also for adults?
Also for adults.
Also for adults.
What's the
Really?
difference? Is it one is like the
Hyper.
ADD is the disorder, and then ADHD is the symptoms. Yeah.
There
I
is
don't
no
remember
difference.
exactly.
It's
There
just,
is no difference.
it's just different.
But like
Wait, I thought
I
I thought one was like you get real hyper, and then one was just your brain goes everywhere.
So it's the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
ADD is an older term for it, and I guess they like updated it to ADHD.
Gotcha.
I didn't know
Okay.
that.
I didn't know that either. I thought like the ADHD was like hyper. It meant hyper something.
It's the same thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
because both
And that's-
me and Flick have been
that's-
diagnosed with it.
Oh man, I definitely have it.
I mean, I can get. I mean, anyone can get diagnosed.
I
with it.
without a doubt have it, and I actually agree with what John's saying. It's way,
Yeah.
way like
I mean, I probably have it, but I just refuse to medicate for it.
so. Flick, tell us before you took it, ever. I'm not talking about now coming off of it, because I think that's a totally different thing. Before you took it, what made you? What would have? What, like looking back on that, what would make you say that you have it? Like, why did the doctor say, okay, yeah, you got it, day one?
I'm trying to think because it's been 12 years now since I think I got diagnosed.
They made me take a test.
I did. I definitely took a test. But I'm pretty sure there's a test that you could lie on pretty easily.
Yeah.
God, I'm trying to remember.
I've taken
mean,
it once.
I always
I'm
have-
sure it's like, do you have trouble focusing on certain tests and stuff like that? Is it right?
I mean, for the most part, that from what I can
More or less.
basically,
Yeah.
and like I've always had that problem.
I
I mean, I
fucking
have
got
that
it.
problem to an extent, even when I take the medication. It's just it's a lot more reined in, and it's a lot more. I don't know how to describe it because it's not like I'm like hearing stuff in my head, but like all of the extra like white noise kind of goes away when I take my medication. It's really hard to describe.
So was it a test that you took though?
I'm
Like,
pretty sure it was
like a
yeah.
paper test, or was it like he was like
And-
he said like answer this math question? He was like ringing a bell off to the side.
And this is gonna be a hot take right here. And Flick, I love you to death. So this is not me attacking you by any means. I don't believe in it though. I
That's
believe.
good. That's
I
good.
don't believe in it.
That's
Well,
I don't.
I
think
agree and disagree. So I think that, like I said, everyone gets distracted and like can't focus on things that they don't want to focus on, and like that's that's what you're supposed to be like overcoming, like learning. You shouldn't have to. I mean, I'm not saying like obviously, maybe somebody needs drugs and you might be one of them, but like the vast majority of people that have trouble focusing on things.
peace.
Really?
That's funny. But I mean, John's making a good
I think
point
his phone
here.
died.
I mean,
That
John
is
is making a
too
good point though,
funny.
because it's like half the time it's a discipline problem and not a medical problem. Is kind of what he's getting
Well,
at. And I think I have more of the discipline problem. I don't really have a medical.
I definitely have
problem.
a discipline problem, but like I have trouble focusing on things that I give a shit about. Like it's
Yeah, see, that's. I think
it's-
that's medical.
I like
It's-
I think there's a legitimate medical thing. Like cause like I hear how people describe how they take Vyvanse or Adderall. And a lot of times, especially in college, the way that they always described it was a lot like it for me, it makes you almost feel normal, like just a regular fucking human.
Well,
And for a lot of other people, they get super jittery. They feel
No,
like
you're not normal. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
you're
Go
right.
ahead.
I'm not.
I
fucking
lived with a guy in college.
Wait, hold on,
and-
hold on. Finish your
I
thought.
mean,
Finish your
you talking
thought,
about
Flick.
Gordon?
Uh,
God, that threw me off.
That's my bad. Regular human.
I feel like and I hear other people describe it and they feel like super jittery, like they can do a billion things, like all this other stuff. Like I don't feel that when I take my medication. I feel like I'm able to concentrate, I'm able to get my stuff done and pay attention to things around me. Like it's hard for me to sit and listen to conversations sometimes when I'm caring about I'll be in the middle of like therapy, for example, and like I'm trying to work on stuff for me personally right now, and I will zone out mid conversation. All like it happens. I catch myself doing it all the time. It's like I'm like trying to listen and like take in what this guy's talking about. And I immediately will just start thinking about some random fucking thing at work that happened that day. And then I'll go in a 5-minute tangent in my own head on like all the things I need to do because of that. And I've completely zoned out from that conversation that I'm actively a part of.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Dud.
like
That happens to
I-
me too.
it
But-
100% exists, but at the same time, I agree with everything you're saying as far as it's way over medicated. There's too many people that are taking it, and I fucking hate it because it's hard as shit to get the medication lately.
Yeah.
Me and Mason have a lot of insight on this.
that thing where you like somebody's talking and then your brain just takes like that last sentence, like they continue talking, it just takes your last
Oh
sentence
my
and it just
God.
that happens to me all the time.
I do that.
Damn.
I have a-
much.
I have
Or
a-
I'll fixate on that sentence and be like, oh, like I'm ready to answer that part of this person's statement, and I just completely
forget about
don't
the rest
listen.
of it.
I'm just waiting until I say
So-
that.
Mine comes in
So there are
waves.
people that doesn't happen to.
I think it
That's
happens
my
to
question.
everybody, just with
Well,
varying degrees of how
yeah.
often.
I think so. Here's my experience with it is like it happens a lot, but it happens to me more often if I'm trying to become focused on something. If I'm like deeply focused on it, it doesn't happen at all. So it's like a
Yep.
getting started problem. It's the same with like writing a paper for me. If I've got to write something, if I've got to like write a narrative or anything, at the beginning, I'm like chasing squirrels, like one sentence here, one sentence there. They're not cohesive, but like once I get started, no, it's like tunnel vision. It's just like everything's just like woof, and I'm
Well,
right
that's
Yeah, what do
there.
they call it? It takes like 15 minutes to get into your flow state or something
For
like
sure.
that. I think it's
For
what it's
sure.
called.
That's why why the corporate world I really struggle with it, because like meetings break, like having to stop that, get on a call and then come back to focus. It's like, bro, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like all meetings should be scheduled in the morning or in the afternoon, and the rest of the time should be like continuous work time. And I fully
Well,
believe that.
And that's talking like that, I think that's why I procrastinated a lot in school, was because if I were just do something way ahead of time, or even just natural whatever, I would not really put enough focus in it because I didn't care. Like I didn't have something I was like, oh, if it wasn't due tomorrow, like if I do it now, a little bit here, a little bit there, like I'm not gonna put good work into it. But when I knew I had a deadline, I knew I had a time crunch, we'll say, like I could get focused and I didn't like it, and I could actually work, and it was actually better work. Like it legitimately, like I felt like I had to do it then or it wasn't gonna get done.
Yeah.
And so like when the focus I had when I was doing that was very good.
Yeah.
And that's like, and so like whether or not I have ADHD or whatever it's called, like that's why I don't necessarily think it's something like, I know, like you said, there's some people that just can't focus, and I understand that, and that sucks. But like I've seen it where like I can sit here and try to multitask and half listen. I might hear something every now and then and chime in, but I might just completely ignore it, whatever. But I don't think like you said, Mason, or said earlier, like the discipline, like just having to be focused is something that we have to learn. And I think that's where I get pissed off about, because I think we're just giving passes to these people and we're just
Yeah.
making softer people
I don't think it
and
actually
shit like that.
Nah, I don't think it actually helps them though. I think it's just It's like
Yeah,
a
I don't-
placebo in the end for them.
They diagnose it too young. They give it to like 10-year-old boys who are like hardwired to be fucking around outside all day and like just distracted
I
by
mean,
things. And
Coleman,
so, like,
Coleman Butler's the best example I've ever seen of it. I mean, Coleman Butler was when he's happy, you know, like fun guy, and then when he took his medicine, he became almost impossible to be around, and like he hated himself. He didn't want to be around. Like he just like, you couldn't talk to him, and that's why he had to like quit taking it though.
I stopped taking it too because it makes me kind of angry, a little
Yeah, that's what-
confrontational sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
And
call
then
him.
also like when I have to like think of ideas and come up with creative ideas to problem solve things, it screws that stuff up for me.
Yeah.
Like if I have to like
that
sit there and
because-
drill in an Excel sheet, I can kill stuff on like 88 on Vyvanse or something like that. But if I need to problem solve, it is no good.
Is that
for me.
because your brain can't bounce around? Like, is that kind of what happens?
Yeah, I think so.
No. I get it. I think everybody's
Isn't
right in this
isn't
case.
that weird though, Mason? Like it's supposed to help you think, and then it like doesn't let you think.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I want to add something to Rob's point. You mentioned like, you know, it was for you, like you think you like maybe I
Just
like
got you.
one thing that like we do need to understand though, like it's a scale, right? Like it's not a black and white, oh, just because I somewhat experience this, that means everyone's experiencing it exactly how I am.
Oh, I know that.
And I know you weren't trying to say that, but like I wanted to make sure I added that because I think that's the biggest difference is like everyone can have, you know, small symptoms of it, but there's a big difference between like, oh yeah, like, you know, this one thing that I don't really care about and it's hard for me to pay attention when compared to when it's every single thing. And it is something where like it doesn't really matter what the subject is, the topic, like you're experiencing those things. So I just wanted to make sure I add that because I think that is a very important part of it. It's like anybody can experience it, but you know, if you're not on the same scale where I am, you know, we're not experiencing even remotely the same things.
I agree. And I just it's hard for me to understand that because I think there's some things that everyone like if someone like and obviously not everything, but like if you wanted to focus on something and you weren't on medicine, I think like you really wanted to, I think you could do it.
Yeah,
I-
it's the stuff that. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I
And
was
I'm
gonna say it's
and,
like the stuff that people aren't passionate about or are not interested in. Like when I was in school studying about, you know, some short story that was written 300 years ago, I couldn't care less about it. So like, yeah, I have a little bit more trouble focusing on that.
I mean, I had a weird experience this year. Like Mason knows a little bit about this, like with the Vyvanse shortages that are ADHD medication shortages that have been going on for the past like 6 months. Like I couldn't take it for the first part of the year, and I was getting nervous I was going to get fired. Like I was struggling at work every single day, like just keeping up with everything that was involved in my job. As I'm not like I have the hardest job on earth, but like I've been doing this job for 3+ years. Like you would think even without the medication that I could do it. If I had to do this if I had still hadn't been able to, like I legitimately to this day, like I would be say like at the start of the year till now, I hadn't been taking it, I'd actually be concerned about my job because I was struggling to keep up.
I
at
think-
work.
I think
And-
that's one of the key differences between. I think that right there is a really key difference between people who may actually need medication and people who don't, because that's one of the things that can get me to focus is pressure. Like
Second.
if there's pressure applied, I've got to do something. And that's like one of the things in college. Like I never cared about college. You guys know this. It's a story as old as time. But it's like at some point there was like a break where it was like, fuck man, pressure's on. I got to do this. And but then from like once I experienced that and did it a couple times, then school became one of those things where it was like I could like almost like artificially create that pressure for me, because I would just be like, I really want to make an A. I really, really want to make an A. And like, you don't have to make A's to graduate. You don't have to make A's to learn
I
something.
prove that.
You don't
in
have to make
spades.
A's to be good at something. You can just barely get through. But I don't think that's the right way to do it. All the kids that are listening, you should make A's. But like for me, it was like
It's easy
I
to do.
really want to make an A, apply the pressure, and that pressure helps me focus. And so for the people who, maybe we say absolutely need the medication, I don't think that pressure does anything except make them spiral more.
Agreed.
100%. Like
Yeah, I've nailed that.
I've had a lot of times where I know the pressure is it's there, it's visceral. Like I can feel it. And it still does nothing for me. Like as much as I want to try to do it, I just can't do it. And the way I say that, it almost comes like I'm just being lazy with it.
Nice cock, John.
Yeah, gotcha.
Jesus.
What were we
No,
talking
I think there's a lot of, I guess, like I'm with you, Flick. I'm with you in the sense of like there's some like you felt like you couldn't do it and you're nervous about it, and even like you knew the pressure was there and it's still hard to do it. And like, of course, that's a problem. And of course, if there's medication out there to help you for it, I'm happy. But like, I think a lot of people like, do all of y'all drink caffeine?
Yeah.
Yes.
God, kill me.
John?
A lot of it.
Yeah, a little bit.
So like,
I
mean,
drink
like,
it
sure.
like I drink it like it's fucking like it's my fucking
No, but
last
so Jordan,
cup
if
every
you
cup.
had to go to work every day though, and not drink coffee, would you think your production would fall down?
For 2 days, but that's it. Once some withdrawals were done, that headache was gone, I'd be straight. But I
Okay.
also didn't drink coffee for like ever, so like that's also kind of a hard argument because I know in my head that I can do it. It's like me right now. If you said, "Okay, Jordan, go run a half marathon right now," well, I'd be like, "Man, damn, I'm going to have a heart attack out there." But like, I know I've done it before, so give me a couple months or whatever the training cycle is, and yeah, I'd have confidence I could do it. So it's like a mental thing, right?
You could do it right now. Just
Wait, I
slow.
want to know where are you going with the caffeine thing, Rob?
Well, no, but I'm just saying, but like that's like all these drugs though that like, I mean, they're not. I know caffeine's a drug technically, but I mean, it's not saying it's a prescription or anything like that. But I just think like there's a lot of people though that like it's just become part of their daily life, and that's what they have to depend on. And I don't think like I don't want to have to depend on things for me to be able to get through
Yeah, that's
every
the
day.
thing, like,
No, I agree.
like I experience a lot of the stuff, and it's not that I'm saying that everyone that takes these drugs is wrong. I'm too scared to take any drugs like that, and I assure you that my productivity drop is not what it should be because I refuse to do that.
Same way.
But that's just the trade off that I live with.
One of the reasons that I comfortably drink coffee is because I know like I'm never gonna have problems getting coffee. If I thought that like, okay, week to week I might not be able to get a cup of coffee, I would just cold turkey quit that shit. Because I wouldn't want to live where like 3 days I've got coffee and then I've got to live through 2 days of withdrawal and then 3 days I've got it and then 2 days I got to live. Like no way would I do that.
Well,
But,
like I've noticed, like whenever like I don't drink caffeine, like I never do. Like I mean, like I have one like a Coke or something like that every now and then. But like I notice, like when I had a Coke that morning for whatever reason, I was in a meeting and I got a Coke or something. Like when I go back to work and I have some caffeine in my system, I notice like I am way more focused, way more like exactly, and I do a better job. Like I know for a fact I do.
Yeah, of
but
course.
like I don't want to have to do that every day.
You can't keep it up anyway. So it's like it's a false thing. It doesn't matter if you do it or not. You'll build up a tolerance. Like at this point, like I'm not actually feeling anything with coffee. Like I joke around like I gotta fucking have, but really it's more about the act of like sitting in the morning. Like it's a moment of zen for me. Like just have the coffee, sit there, don't really do anything, drink the coffee. Like I'm not feeling anything. I'm not getting jittery. It's not.
But does it wake you up though? I mean, it's got to wake you up somewhat.
It wakes
Probably
me
not,
up. Like as I sit there and
Not
drink my cup of
noticeably.
coffee in the morning, I become more alert for sure. But
Mason's
the
got 7
biggest-
espresso shots.
But the biggest impact that it has is after I'm sitting there and I'm 3/4 of the way done with my coffee, I start to feel a storm brewing in my head.
I knew where this man was going with that. I knew what he was doing.
I did too. Well, Jordan does the same thing. If Jordan drinks coffee within 30 minutes, he's on the shitter.
Yeah.
No,
it's just
coffee
100%.
doesn't. Coffee doesn't do that to me. You know what it does though, Rob?
I running. I know
running.
goes.
If I go
Dude,
for
I couldn't stand running with you because literally half the time you'd be like walking back to the car.
I'm
you know,
so
like
sorry,
this,
people in
and you're-
Athens,
and-
Georgia,
and-
that have
and,
walked through the
like-
woods and seen a human turd laying out there in the pine
I
straw.
mean,
I'm so sorry.
freaking
Okay?
believable.
So sorry because I've definitely pooped in several
Oh, that's
places in Athens.
awesome.
One time I was running at Trail Creek. And it's like this little it's like the you guys know, but like how do I explain it? It's like a couple football fields, a softball field. That's
It's a
about it.
recreational
recreational
area,
like
yeah,
green space
park.
kind of thing. And buddy, I was running loops out there, and I got there's a bathroom there, so I was like, I'm safe, I'm good, I'm going to run there. I was running loops, and then it hit me. I was like, oh, gotta go. And then I'd like waddle back to the bathroom. It's locked, buddy. I'm like, mother. So I just waddle off to the trees, and I'm just like, how vulnerable too. You're just like out there pooping, and like you're in the woods. and,
That's why
like-
dogs always keep eye contact with their owners because they're
Yes.
vulnerable.
Well, I wasn't making eye contact with anybody.
What? Wait, say that
Yeah,
again?
they're looking to make
Dogs
sure
make
you're
eye
watching.
contact with their owners because they're so vulnerable. They're making sure that you're
Keeping a
gonna,
lookout.
like be there. Yeah.
True story.
I didn't know that.
I'm like a bird dog, man. Get me a little warmed up. I got a Duke.
That is the truest thing I've ever. I mean,
So
I can
true.
tell you. I know for a fact. I can think of like 2 or 3 times off my head. Like Jordan didn't make it half a mile, and he looked at me and said, "We turned back, and we had to go." He had
I
to go
mean,
shit."
I've walked back like for 2 miles before from pooping in the woods because you can't poop in the woods, don't wipe, and then like run back. You have doo doo everywhere. You know what I mean? You just gotta slow walk it back in.
Sweat and doo doo just grinding against your
Oh,
cheeks.
God,
Oh, man,
And
that's a
3,
rough
2, 1,
time.
we're back.
I've learned at this point, really seriously, my runs revolve around my poops. Like I'm not even gonna try because it's just like way too. You can't go like I was really fortunate there that there was like I was running with place with woods. Like where am I gonna run in Atlanta where I can just like hop off the trail into some woods? Like it's not gonna happen. There's just concrete.
Well, you're in a big city. Just,
I'll be
Yeah,
the
go
I'll
there,
be
they
the
just
like you're
guy.
Get up against the window like everybody else.
I'll be the Seattle guy with my bare ass hanging
Exactly,
out pooping in a
yeah.
windowsill.
Yeah, and
don't-
then someone could tell it on their podcast, and you'd be famous.
You don't live in Atlanta. You live
No,
far
but
as
it's the same. But I mean, like my neighborhood.
And also, Atlanta has a fuck ton of woods. Like
It is Atlanta is the
crazy
city of Atlanta is known to be the city of trees.
Yeah, but
100%.
okay, but think about where you could go right now and go run, and then find you some woods where nobody would see you poop. That you could get far enough into the woods that nobody could see you poop.
When we lived in
Yeah, I can do that.
when we lived in Lennox off Lennox Park, wherever there was woods right near our house. That
You
we could
could
do that.
no way,
Yes, there was,
in
right
Lennox
down the
Park.
street.
You could not
Right down the
find
street.
us some. You
100
could not
yards from our
find
place.
deep enough woods. There's pine trees, but like pine trees ain't got deep enough brush where you're just gonna be out there in the pine trees just pooping. Somebody's gonna
So
see
it's
you.
a little different because Jordan's ass is so white
That's
that
true,
like you
too.
can
How
see
do
it
you
from a
know?
long way off.
How do
So
you know?
he's
How
got
do
to
you
go
know?
deeper. Than
No,
that.
but it'll
do you
blind
know?
them anyway.
I've seen it,
Let's make that noise.
so I know for a fact.
It is pale. It's nice. What's up?
Show it on the
Nice.
broadcast, bro.
What up, Flick?
For the viewers.
What the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know. We
I
went
don't
from
know, guys.
Adderall to Dukin. Like I don't know.
Yeah, but also didn't make sense. We'd go swimming, and you didn't do that.
What?
That's valid. I got to give it to you. I don't know. I mean, I guess I think most of the
Maybe-
time we went swimming, we went like during the day or in the afternoon though, and I'd already.
We went a
pooped that
lot of
day.
mornings, dude.
It's the
We went a lot
impact
of
from hitting the
mornings.
ground. It starts
Probably-
pushing it out.
It probably is the shaking.
It might be it could be the cold water too.
Man, I miss those days. God, miss
Dude,
that
I
pool.
remember one time I got up at like 4:50 to go crush a good swim workout at the Auburn Aquatic Center before class. And I get there at, 5:15 and every single lane is taken. And I've never been more pissed off in my life.
You didn't just buddy swim with somebody, or whatever it's called.
And there's 2 in every lane.
Oh wow, like completely full.
No, the worst though was when because we had like our big pool
Never
where,
seen
like,
it that
our
busy.
swim and dive team like used UGA. That was like really nice, but it was always freezing cold. I mean, when I say freezing cold, I mean freezing cold.
72.
And then, but then the other pool was like our little rec pool where everyone swim, and it was always way warmer. And
Indeed.
so like you get there in the morning, and we're in the winter, so you're already cold. and you get over there and you get the other pool and you're like no big deal. But then every now and then that you be in the big pool and you just I mean literally I couldn't. George would always jump in. I couldn't do it. I just
But once you're
can't.
once you're in it though, like once you're like 30, 40.
Oh, it was way
minutes in, it's
better. It was way better.
Yeah.
But like, oh, I hate it.
God, I miss having a big, like, proper pool
Well,
to swim in.
And I didn't mind swimming. Like that was like the only thing I didn't like about swimming was like hair and showering and everything. Like, but like
I'm not good at it. I'm
I'm-
really not great at it.
I was way better at swimming than I am running. I will 100% tell you
Yeah,
that.
I'm not
Well,
good at
it's a low
swimming for
bar.
whatever reason.
That's valid, Jordan. I mean, John.
It is a low.
I'm a
bar.
lot better. I'm a lot better of a runner than I am a swimmer, but
I
I like.
I'm a jack
swimming.
of all trades myself.
I'm
There
just
you go,
not.
John.
I guess I'm. Honestly, I guess maybe I can give myself a hard time. I'm just not fast at anything. Like Not
I'm
like-
equally bad at all of it.
I'm okay. I would say I'm an okay like. I'm probably like average like sprinter, like short sprint, but like a 5K. God, I'm not very good at that. I'm just kind of slow.
We used to race in the water.
I bet you're better across, like, comparatively across the, like, compared to the average human. I bet you're a better 5K runner than you are a sprinter.
Oof.
Bro, think about the average American. Think about it.
Yeah, maybe, but
The
think
average
about the average
American-
American doing like a 100-yard dash or 40-yard dash.
Bro, they can fall for 100 yards almost. They can fall forward for 100 yards. I mean,
Well, the fastest like thing that I've ever done, like that's longer than that you would consider, you would probably put into like that middle distance and up category, is I ran 2 miles in 12 12:30 I think is what it was. Yeah,
That's pretty fucking good.
that's really quick for me. Like I've
yeah,
never
that's solid.
I've never come close to that. But like in the grand
Have-
scheme of things, that's not really that fast.
Do you hate yourself enough to ever look up, like, the world record times for stuff like that?
Yeah, it's like well, Kipchoge held like a 5.5 minute pace for a marathon or something
Yeah.
like that. Like
No, he held a 4-minute something pace.
no, I think it was like 5:20 something, wasn't it?
The world
think so.
record 2 mile is 7:54.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Don't think I could do one.
7:54? Seriously?
Kipchoge pace per mile for his marathon was 4:38 per mile.
That's insane.
what is wrong with these people? Like, what? Get a hobby.
That's so crazy.
He has one, and he's really
That's-
good at it.
This is insane.
Gross.
That's
Yeah, 2 miles, 7:54:10, and it's by the. Ooh, it was on my birthday. Where's this dude from? Norway. Yeah, the Jacob Ingebrigtsen dude.
Mhm,
That dude's a
yeah.
freak.
God, dude.
Mm.
What? Yeah, man. Wow.
That doesn't make me jealous. I mean, that I think that makes me like them less.
And hey, just to throw this in there for the podcast, how much better men are than women. The woman's is over a full minute behind it.
Oh
Just
my God.
just to let y'all know.
Well,
Really?
In the 2 mile.
Yeah, 2 mile. It's over a minute behind.
That's
Ooh, that's
ridiculous.
brutal.
Oh no, they only beat me by 3 minutes. Like
But men should be allowed to compete with women. Amazon.
Nah, the
So-
worst.
Sorry,
Of
3, 2,
all-
1. We're back.
No, of all the trans stuff, the worst that was when the Olympics didn't let the girl that was actually female compete because she had too much testosterone. That's of all the things that I get. Like,
wait,
I was like,
what happened?
Oh, that was just an actual biological female that had high testosterone, right?
yes, and they wouldn't let her compete.
But she hadn't taken
Talk about
any-
hypocrisy.
she
I
hadn't
mean,
taken
I
any
wanted- that blew my
testosterone
mind.
Boosters
Blew
or
my mind.
anything?
No, she just had like she had
Oh.
She was like XXY or something.
no, it was like some genetic thing though, but like her body like produced like testosterone. Like,
Yeah, we're gonna fact check this real quick.
Go for it.
go for
I
it.
think I've heard that. I think I've heard this.
I am, I don't have as much experience in like pool to be able to compare like my fastest times to things, but I know like my fastest like 50 is probably like I don't know, like
17 seconds.
50? No. No, it's like probably 50 seconds, like 55
No, it's
seconds.
not.
Yes, it is. What's the world record? 50.
A 50 is a down.
What's the world record?
Down,
50?
down.
World record 50. Is that what
Yeah.
you said?
Yeah, 50
Like
meter
20
men's 20
20
seconds, 20.91 seconds. Yeah, my fastest 50 is probably 60 seconds.
No way.
There's no way. Dude, no shot.
I guess
You'd be like probably like 25 seconds.
no
No
shot. No, I'll
Bro.
go when the pool opens up this summer. I'll go hit a 50. We'll it's like we need
But
to
that's
write
You
this
think
down.
he's 5 seconds off the world record?
Yeah,
That's
there's
a
no
lot
way.
of time in a down though.
Buddy. The
In-
pool is super
no.
slow. Like swimming is think about like okay, you can like walk 50 meters
you're-
in 21 seconds. So it's like pool time is a whole different thing than running time. Is what I'm getting at.
Here we go. Quora, what's a bad, average, or good time for 50-meter swimming without a starting block?
That's true. I didn't come off
mean,
a block.
This dude is 5'11", 265, and says he ran a 23.7. So
Ran?
or swam. Sorry.
I'm telling you, you would 25.
50.
You would dust. I bet you would dust 25 seconds actually.
And then someone like related question says, "Is 29 seconds a good time for 50 freestyle swimming?" I'm 13 years old.
29 seconds. Hold on. Well, let's see.
Haley, I was say Haley's a swimmer.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah.
What's your fastest 50 you swam?
Well, she's a woman. so-
25 and some odd change. Thank you.
Yeah.
25
Oh,
and
so
some
then
odd
maybe
change.
it probably is actually 25. I'm sorry for mocking you, Robert.
High change. 25 and high change. Thanks, sweetie.
Was that?
Yay. Oh, I can't say that.
Yeah, you can. It's fine.
25 and high change. So, yeah, probably so. You're probably right. But no, that's not true. That's not true because I can't flip turn. In a straight 50,
Well,
maybe. But like in
I
a
was about to say, we're
25
not doing
meter
a
pool.
50?
In a 25 meter
but-
pool, it would
Yeah.
be much slower.
But I mean, the world
was
record's not in a 25 pool anyway, so
That's true.
All right, guys. I'm going to eat dinner. I'll
Don't
catch you
do it.
later.
Don't do it.
that's so wild. So California.
You should fast.
It's 7:30.
Mason, you got some hundreds behind you? I want to see you hit a strict shoulder press with a couple hundreds. Show the world what you got.
Or
I
do a
mean, I
snatch.
can. The only
Do a
the heaviest
one-arm
dumbbells.
snatch.
The heaviest dumbbells he has here are 50s.
Stand on the
Oh.
endo board and do it. Stand on the endo board and do it.
Look at this guy. Look at
I
that.
don't- I
Look at
don't-
that
I-
schlong. My
On the
God.
endo board. On the endo board.
Honest to God, I don't think my right shoulder would let me do that. I probably could do it with my left shoulder. I don't think I could do it with my right shoulder.
Come on, guys. Nobody else saw that
Dude,
hawk?
if you want us to go viral, how you got to do it on the endo board?
Dude,
Mason,
We're
don't-
going
don't-
viral, but I
You'll
don't
be
have health
hurt.
insurance
I'm
right
about
now,
to
so
say,
I'm not
don't
going to
do
do that.
Don't do that.
some of the fun.
All
Some
right,
of the
guys.
Hey, but if your in-laws have homeowners insurance, you're set.
You're evil. I mean, you're not. You're right, but you're evil. All right, later, guys.
See you, buddy.
See you, bud.
Well, I don't know. That was a wild ride. So we solved the planes thing, obviously. Through all that, we came to some conclusion there, and we have the results, and we'll
all
write
it
it
is-
up and submit it to Delta.
All it is you check everything and you pay to bring stuff on the plane.
Okay, I kind of like
And then
that.
you go back to front, and I think it solves everything.
But back to front, we got the weight problem again.
No, but there's I'm telling you, there's no way there's a weight problem.
Flick Googled it. Okay.
I know. Well, I mean, there's some planes that aren't big enough though, is what I'm saying. I mean, like maybe on the gigantic planes, but like a lot of stuff that you fly from an hour and a half, like say like here to DC or here to Miami or something like that. Like the plane, there's no way the plane's big enough for there to be a weight problem.
Well, I guess the world will never know, huh?
It's like the center of the Tootsie Pop.
Exactly. All right. It's been close to 2 hours, boys. I think we did pretty good. There's, there's no facts anywhere in this podcast. A lot of good topics.
We had
though.
some world record times.
I
That's
drafted a pretty good team.
Did you? Maybe we can
Who's
talk
in
about that
this
next
league?
time.
Who's in this
I
league?
bet. Like, how about this? I the other day was challenged. Well, actually, I challenged myself. I can't name 5 MLB players and the teams they play for.
You can name the starting.
5.
Maybe
I
not.
can name starting what?
I was gonna say lineup for the Braves, but maybe not.
So
No,
you can't
dude.
name 5 MLB players, but you were given a ship for not knowing
Coco Golf and Jack Sock.
fucking sock boy. Like the fuck?
No, I didn't say anything about you not knowing Jack Sock. But
Maybe-
Coco
maybe
Golf is
I'll-
like,
No, I did. I said that.
I've
Yeah,
heard
but
the
that is-
name
that is-
Coco Golf to
You
be
know, I can't name. I
Yeah.
don't. I can name
but
two.
fucking jack me off. I have no idea. I've never heard of him in my life.
I can name 2 hockey players though.
That's
current.
I think
I feel like I could.
I can name
Ovechkin.
I can name
and
2 Tampa
Sidney
Lightning
Crosby.
players
Is
because I was looking at
Ovechkin
jerseys the
still
other day.
playing hockey?
Yeah,
Really?
But those are the 2 hockey players.
he's apparently going for like the scoring record. I think.
There's no way he gets to Gretzky.
No chance.
I know. I'm pretty sure like
He's
next
38.
year. Like,
Well, hockey players play to like they're 47, dude. Like I've seen like there's a guy he played for the Sharks. He played forever.
Oh yeah, and this is supposed to be a tough sport. Yeah, right, Matt.
yeah.
It was Joe somebody. One reason I'm doing this because when he signed, he was like 37. He signed like a 10-year deal or some shit
All
like
right,
that.
let's see. Gretzky goal.
Alex Ovechkin
Yeah,
is
he's
only
gonna get it,
77 away.
Yeah, he's gonna get it.
77 goals away.
Oh, wait, no, sorry.
No, he's
that
50.
was games
He's
played. That was
53.
games played.
Gretzky.
He's 53 game. He's 53 goals away.
Oh wow.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's
How long? How
But
long?
how
did
many
he,
did you?
how many?
That's
How long did he
over how
play?
many
in-
seasons?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Let's see. So he's got
He's played less games.
800. Hold on, I got you. 841 divided by.
You got to do games because you can't do by seasons because
Well,
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So he's averaging 0.6 per game.
What Gretzky
And
did. What the
Gretzky did
no, he's not going to have Gretzky's anywhere
94
close to
divided
this.
by. I know. I bet he does.
No,
Yeah, 0.6. They're both 0.6.
no, I said he's not. They're not close in assists.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like 1,300 away.
Oh wow.
But
Well, how many seasons did Gretzky play, and how many seasons this guy played?
Well, it's 1,410 games played versus 1,487
I mean,
Who's
in
87?
favor. 87 is Gretzky.
Okay.
So, I mean, basically, if he plays as many games, I mean, since they're averaging the same.
if he
number per
plays
game.
next year, he'll more than likely get it.
we'll go
How
for
old is Ovechkin? You say he's 37?
38.
38.
That's kind of apparently like because I listen to Part of My Take and PFT on there's a big like Capitals fan say like it'll say stuff every now and then and they talk about the Capitals really aren't good. The main thing that they're just doing is trying to get him the scoring record.
Well, that's kind of janky, but
I mean,
whatever.
That's sports.
Get it how you can.
So,
That's what she said. All right, boys, it was fun.
so
2.5's done.
I hope Matt never watched the end of this, so he doesn't know we talked about hockey.
I'll tell him so he can get on here and they can tear it down, and then it'll make him want to come next time. So
Katie and I were about to go down there for March 29th to go, or March 30th to go to a hockey game, and he canceled on us because he has family coming to town.
rip.
But we're gonna try to go to a playoff game now. So
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right, boys. It was fun. I enjoyed it. This is great. We're gonna keep this. We're gonna keep this rolling. We're through 2 shows. We're gonna go
2.5.
2.5. We're gonna we're gonna stretch it to 3.5 and see how.
are
see
we
how
gonna
far
get
we can
this on
take
like
it.
Spotify and stuff?
We can put it wherever you want to, dog.
Anyway,
That's what she said.
I think
if-
we can if we hit 5 maybe.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think that's a debate.
I think let's get to 5. We'll put 5 on YouTube, and then when we start this other stuff, we'll have. I think we start an Instagram. Hold on, let's not tell everybody the plan. We're gonna keep doing this, guys.
Let's
It's been
name it
fun.
let's change the name to the Joe Rogan Experience with like an extra E on the end, so we get people accidentally.
Point
clicking
five.
us up.
I don't
Point
think-
five.
I
Oh
kinda
yeah,
do-
yeah. So it like shows up in the search results.
Yeah.
Probably because it's probably gonna have to be like 10 E's because there's probably been people that have done that already. Anyway, all right. Thanks everybody. We'll see you at 3.5. Peace.